Yes.
Come on.
We started it.
Yes.
And we are continuing it.
Thank you.
And today we are at the precipice of history. We are mobilizing organized labor.
Yes.
To lead the charge
Sharp.
and ensure that the right thing is done for posterity.
Boy.
So if you are a member of organized labor,
Yes.
you are a member of any of the professions in Ghana, you are a citizen of the Republic, and you care about how our water bodies are being destroyed, how our environment is being decimated, then you also need to stand and have your voices heard. We must compel the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia to do what is right by our children of the future.
Sharp.
Or by people who are present here in Ghana today, and by those who have been here long before we came in.
Very powerful clarion call, and that's the focus for the rest of the day. Newspaper review brought to you by Total Excellium. Our new formula is 3-in-1. Cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. Thanks to the cumulative effect of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives, it lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. And of course, we're sponsored as well by Fidelity Bank. Every hour, new pages turn. Every day is a new chapter to keep your dreams alive. Every day, we support you with a new vision. And whatever your vision is to add value to this world, we are helping you make it happen. At Fidelity Bank Ghana, our purpose is to inspire your success and collaborate with you every step of the way. So let me say good morning to Caleb as well.
Good morning, Bernard.
How are you doing? It's good to have you.
Great weekend it was.
Yes, all too soon it's over.
Yeah.
The grind begins.
Yes. And let's thank all the people who came to support us over the weekend.
My goodness.
To pull it off.
I was at the Eden Heights and I couldn't believe, I didn't even know where to pass.
Charlie.
Everywhere was dense.
Plenty.
It was a beautiful event.
Lovely.
Great. GCB, oh my God.
Awesome, Charlie.
You know,
Awesome.
they were there before the others came.
Allah.
Don't be taboo.
They've proved that, Charlie.
Don't be taboo.
No, Charlie. Small boys are young.
Yeah.
GCB Bank, PLC. Yeah. But there were so many other. I'll tell you who the award winners were. It was a great competition.
Yeah.
And it was a great day of camaraderie for business, for competition. I mean, it was a powerful day for Ghana. So thank you for making it happen. Let's start with the headlines.
The Ghanaian Times says this morning at GJA award ceremony, safeguard our democracy. President Akufo-Addo admonishes journalists. Also, president's daughters not involved in illegal mining. That's the lands ministry. And electricity tariff goes up by 1.86% and water by 3.02%. Also on the front page, some of the award winners. Edward Adeti, Crown 2023 Journalist of the Year, and Ghanaian Times' Jonathan Donko and Benedicta Jima Foley pick up awards as well.
Daily Graphic this morning, 28th GJA Awards promote nation's peace. President Akufo-Addo charges media. And then eliminating child malaria. GHS rolls out new vaccines in 136 districts. Elite minerals lease was in 2012, not in forest reserve. Ministry refutes allegations.
The Chronicle says this morning, Ghana needs tax revenue reform, says Vodek CEO. Also, GJA lauds professionalism of the Ghana Police Service, and Bawumia likely to win December's polls, according to a survey.
Republic Press, safeguard our democracy. President urges journalists ahead of 2024 elections. I will work 24 hours. Mahama makes new promise. Bawumia takes a jab at Mahama, calls him second-hand failure. Boss Manasari rallies support for EC electricity, water tariffs up. And police officer in the central region is killed, 2 injured in armed robbery attack at Dunkwao.
The Ghanaian publisher says sanitation ministry refutes Mahama's false claim. Comes with the photograph of the Minister for Sanitation, Honorable Hassan. Also here, don't release land to illegal miners. Ochehene is warning landowners in the Achim Ibuakwa area. Also, Akufo-Addo charges journalists be gatekeepers of truth. And the paper is also celebrating Madam Natoshi Addo wishing her happy birthday this morning.
Daily Guide this morning, GJA President commends police over professionalism. Baumia leads in 11 regions according to a survey. Vote for NPP for continued education progress. Dr. Dutrum here. Otumfo questions NDC over Mensha snob, and BOG reduces policy rate.
The Today newspaper says GN Bank campaign resumes in October with nationwide media activities. Also, we're told about the increases in electricity and water tariffs on the front page. And Ghana's development, my priority, thus coming in from the Asante Hene.
Right.
And some other stories here on the front page.
BNFT says the Akufo-Addo world leaders attend UBA America at 40. Business consumer confidence rebound. Leading industrial giants forge strategic alliance at Maiden Economic Zones Policy Roundtable. And AI, the new backbone for fintech innovations.
The Informer, OSP shakes culprits. That's what it says on the front page. Investigation into Galamsey related corruption, they say. Also on the front page, forensic audit of voters register, EC rejects calls. And then my palace is apolitical. That's coming in from the Tumfo.
The Inquisitor, after OSP's announcement on illegal mining, Galamsey cartel wobbling. Electricity tariffs up by 3.02%. Water increases by 1.06%. Napo's classmate speaks about his qualifications. ACP Agojo tackles IGP, and GCB Bank dominates at Citi Business Olympics with 9 medals.
The Daily Searchlight says Akufo-Addo signs UN's Pact of the Future, but destroys Ghana's environment. Also on the front page, Galamsey, Ghana may have to import infusions for health delivery. And then MPA set to achieve some 50% gas usage target by 2030. In the meantime, we're hearing gas supply has been disrupted in parts of the country.
Yes, there's a shortage.
Yeah.
So they are accused in some parts of the country.
Yeah, but the ECG board chair, Alexander Ponyo-Markin, is assuring that Dumso will not return. And Adeti adjudged 2023 Journalist of the Year. Police reject claims of protesters ensuring law and order in the context of arrest. NIA, NHIA to roll out registration for kids 16 to 14. What you need to know, all these on the News Center.
The new publisher, finally for me, says Okujetua Blakwa is telling lies. President's daughters not into Galamsey, and the daughters of the president are seen here happily hugging the president. Also, election 2024 is victory for the MPP. Salam Mustafa is quoted as saying.
All right, let me take you online. Channel 1 News. The key stories. Alan outlines bold 10-point plan to end Galamsey. Meanwhile, Akufo-Addo urges journalists to stay as gatekeepers of truth. $800 million gas deal risky for Ghana's future. Mahama wants Akufo-Addo. In other stories too, dismiss officers' civilian sentenced to 30 years for robbery. And then you're also having Channel 1 TV's Fred Duho wins GJ Best Fred. Still on channel1news.com. Deal with Galamsey before you exit office. DJA to president, and GCB Bank reigns supreme at Business Olympics. Now, if you go to citinewsroom.com, some of the stories on that website: organized labor to meet Tuesday over planned demo against Galamsey. And then Guta says new utility tariffs hikes will worsen cost of living, which are already bad, they say. And then government unchecked campaign spending to blame for increased labor strikes. So this is Austin Game talking about the many strikes we're having in the country. Now, if you go to my journal, the lead story is also on the economy. Taxes are suffocating businesses. GNCCI CEO calls for urgent tax reform. And then Galamsey making water treatments expensive for pharmaceutical companies. You've heard this already. And then High Court Justice calls for swift resolution of election disputes. There's quite a couple stories on a few websites I'll give you. Class FM, a Greek girl's headmistress dies while on assignment in Italy. Pretty sad story there. Alan's 10-point plan to end Galamsey is also getting some traction. He also condemns arrest of youth protesters, demands their immediate release. So Alan making the news online. GNA, Galamsey making water treatment expensive for pharmaceutical companies. That's on their lead website. Meanwhile, TUCGA pledged to promote zero tolerance for harassment at the workplace. And then president of GJA release protesters and deal with Galamsey. Those are summaries of what he said. Now, across the world, there's a lot of issue in the Middle East. So, Israeli strike reported in central Beirut as Lebanon says 105 killed across the country on Sunday. And then, far right in Austria opens new era with election victory. My brother. So that's Austria. And then 30 killed in one county after hurricane swamps North Carolina. 30 people killed in just one county, as 105 people died in the US.
The video's shocking, man.
In a hurricane, all right? Bloomberg is also leading with a very interesting analysis. It's asking, revenge or regroup? Middle East braces for Iran's next move. Now, the assassination of the Hezbollah leader has led to a lot of issues. The Middle East is boiling. Meanwhile, Chinese stocks are rising. So there's good news on the Chinese stock exchange. Final website for me quickly is the Fourth Estate. $3 million Galamsey drones missing. Presidency and national security lack answers. That's the question they're asking. Also, GIF is telling Akufo-Addo to withdraw all licenses granted for prospecting and mining in forest reserves. And then Minerals Commission deletes critical information about mining companies after the Fourth Estate revelations. All of these and more on their lead story.
Let me take off this morning with the Daily Searchlight, which is calling out the president for hurriedly signing international treaties committed to protecting the environment and yet doing almost directly the opposite.
It's amazing.
In Ghana. So the lead story says Akufo-Addo signs UN's Pact of the Future but destroys Ghana's environment. Now, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of Ghana on the 24th day of September 2024 lived up to Ghana's long-standing tradition of quickly and hypocritically agreeing to and signing most international declarations while doing exactly the opposite back home. Now, President Akufo-Addo has affirmed the government of Ghana's support for the landmark Pact for the Future, which includes a global digital compact and a declaration on future generations. Now, interestingly, the declaration on future generations adopts a strong stance against environmental abuse, which essentially is the act of robbing future generations of the benefits of a sound and healthy environment. Now, paragraph 16 of the Declaration on Future Generations requires states to provide, quote and unquote, a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment where humanity lives in harmony with the future and must be created and maintained by urgently addressing the adverse impacts and consequences of climate change, pollution, and biodiversity. Now, this comprehensive initiative addresses critical issues such as peace and security, sustainable development, climate change, digital cooperation, human rights, and gender equality. It goes on to address you on some other things.
So now, the paper is basically pointing out that whilst you're signing this great deal abroad, at home, you're basically close your eyes to the destruction of your environment, your water resources, your forest reserves, and it's quite hypocritical.
Immediately after that story, there's a story that says Galamsey Ghana, they have to import infusions for health delivery.
No, you are reading anything wrong. Galamsey
Ghana may have to import infusions.
That's they made it a hyphen instead of a colon. So
the country is now called Galamsey Ghana.
The Galamsey State. Heavily polluted water flowing, blah blah blah. It goes on to give it, but they are quoting Samuel called Donko, president of Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, of saying that very soon the thing we put in.
For want of time, let me do it this way. So if you look at the Galamsey stories, I think the Searchlight does a very good job in juxtaposing the international signing agreement with what's happening out. Locally, a lot of the issues are with the GJ's president's boldness in basically calling out the president and saying we still insist on the four things: state of emergency, ban mining, moratorium, LI 2464. Really great story.
Solid.
Then Alan's 10-point Galamsey plan is also pretty impressive. He's saying that he will ban all mining for a year. He's also asking for a team to be put up to recover lost land. And he was basically speaking at an event over the weekend where he took the matter of Galamsey frontally. We need to commend him for this. Then there are a couple of other stories. So Ayu a member of parliament for Asokore, has said they will not stop Galamsey today, they will not stop it tomorrow. His comments are on a number of websites as well. And for example, if you go to the Herald's front page, the lead story there is talking about that. It says, Fiducia Sokori NPP MP rubbishes calls to end Galamsey. He says we'll not end Galamsey today, we'll end it tomorrow.
Yes, man.
So that's the first round on Galamsey. Now the other issue has to do with the cost of living and the increase in ECG tariffs and ECG story. So you can give me one selected version of that.
On the ECG story.
Yeah, because for example, the GNCCI and others are not happy. Guta, they're saying that this is going to further cripple businesses.
So page 54 of the Daily Graphic, utility tariffs up tomorrow, 3.02% for electricity, 1.86% for water. McLean Kofi is writing for Daily Graphic. Effective tomorrow, October 1, 2024, consumers of both electricity and water will experience increment in tariffs to ensure regular supply of service. It follows a new tariff approval by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PRC, which will see electricity jump by 3.02% and water by 1.86% across the board for all customers.
Well, GNCCI CEO is calling for urgent tax reform. He says taxes are suffocating businesses. This is Mark Bidua Boaje. And then Guta is also saying that the new tariffs will further cripple businesses. And he was also speaking to City News. And then finally, government's unchecked campaign spending to blame for increased labor strikes. Austin Game says, over the past 2 weeks, the country has witnessed a wave of industrial actions led by various worker groups. Now, according to him, many workers feel neglected as the government appears more focused on its own interests rather than addressing the grievances of the organized labor. And then finally, on that area, organized labor to meet on Tuesday to discuss their planned demonstration of over Galamsey. So that story is also on citynewsroom.com. It says organized labor will meet Tuesday, October 1 to decide on its planned nationwide protest against government for its silence on the fight against illegal mining.
Yeah, let me just quickly point out that if you go to a number of the newspapers this morning, they're talking about the president's daughters not involved in Galamsey. The claim was allegedly made by the Honorable Ukujetua Blakwa, and quickly the new publisher, for instance, says that recent allegations put out without evidence in the public domain that the daughters of the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, are involved in illegal mining, have been described as palpably false and without merit whatsoever in a statement issued by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources.
Bernard, there's a sad story here in the Central Region. Police officer killed, 2 injured in armed robbery attack at Dunkwao. Andy from Paul Manso writes for the Republic Press, and he says armed robbers have shot and killed a police officer and injured 2 others in the Upper Dentra East municipality of the Central Region. The incident occurred at Kwame Peprakrum, a town near Dunkwao, on Saturday, September 28, 2024, when the patrol team was ambushed by the gang. A close source told Republic Press reporter Andy Frimpong Manso that the deceased officer had recently been promoted. As a result, he had stopped participating in patrols due to his new position. Sources further revealed that Evans Adai, who was responsible for the station's armory, decided to join the patrol team at Dunkwao Divisional Police Headquarters on Saturday despite his usual duties. The ambush took place between midnight and 1 a.m.
Meanwhile, 2 dismissed officers and civilians sentenced to 30 years for robbery. Some of these stories are so bizarre. 2 former security officers and a civilian have each been sentenced to 30 years in prison for robbery by an Accra Circuit Court. They are Michael Bafo, a dismissed soldier, and driver Isaac Amedo, a dismissed police officer and a driver, and Sadiq Muta Wakilu, an unemployed civilian. They were found guilty of robbing a nurse of her iPhone Pro Max 11 and cash totaling 40,700 cedis. This incident occurred March 3 last year in Ajingano, Greater Accra, after the complainant had withdrawn money from the bank. Can you imagine?
Wow.
This is so terrible. Now let's come to other stories.
Yeah, I want to take you to a story about the Sanitation Ministry, which is on page 3, actually the lead story of the Ghanaian publisher. It says the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources has refuted claims that it has misused $150 million allocated by the World Bank for desilting major drains in Accra under the Greater Accra Resilient Integrated Development Project, which is the GARID, the one Bernard likes so much. Now, the ministry issued a press statement in response to allegations made by former President John Mahama, clarifying its role and expenditure under the project. Now, the ministry emphasized that the total allocation of some $150 million reference is for the entire GARID project, which involves 3 ministries managing different components. So if you're interested in that story, please grab a copy of the Ghanaian publisher.
Meanwhile, Dumso is not returning anytime soon. This is an assurance from the ECG board chair. Story by Selon Bombiji. Okay. Page 30 of the News Center says the board chairman of the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, Alexander Panyo-Markin, has assured the public that the resignation of ECG's managing director, Samuel Dubik Mahama, will not lead to a resurgence of intermittent power outages, commonly known as galamsey.
Dumso, please.
I beg your pardon.
See, galamsey is in your mind. So it's a galamsey. Nah, you're not serious.
The Ghana pollute my mind.
So known as Dumso.
Yeah, Dumso. The fact that we have had changes in management does not mean that we are going to have interrupted power supply. The entire system of the company is in place, and the company will continue to provide the essential services that it provides for the country. Meanwhile, if you want to know the processes involved in how any National Identification Authority and the NHIA will be rolling out registration for kids between 6 and 14. So if you want to know the process, Elvis Dako details all that on page 8 of the News Center. So,
well, there's a couple of extreme climate stories that I think we should bring to your attention. So the BBC is reporting of a very serious situation in North Carolina and the US, where we're told 30 killed in one county after hurricane swamps North Carolina. And at least 30 people have died and scores more unaccounted for in just one county in North Carolina after Hurricane Helene tore across the state and caused catastrophic flooding, right? And it says we have a biblical proportion devastation, according to Ryan Cole, an emergency official in the county. Now, I'm joining this to another story where in Nepal, people jump from roof to roof as flood kills 120. Major floods and landslides in Nepal have killed more than 120 people across the Himalayan nation, officials have reported. Dozens more were still missing on Sunday after 2 days of intense rainfall, which have inundated the valley around the capital Kathmandu. Residents said they jumped from one roof to another to escape rising waters, which have flooded thousands of homes. Meanwhile, crews were still carrying out rescues on helicopters and inflatable rafts. We need to really pay attention to nature. And just say pay attention to, because when human activity goes the wrong way, nature's response inevitably leads to loss of lives. So sometimes we should listen.
Because the forests provide us with resilience.
Charlie?
The water beds and all of these things, they help protect the environment in a way.
Meanwhile, another group has
Destroy all
joined
of
the
them.
call against Galamsey. NAFAG. Can you guess what NAFAG is?
NAFAC, National Farmers Association of Ghana.
What is NAFAG?
National Association of Food and...
No. National Fisheries Association of Ghana.
Yeah, man.
They have called on the government to fix the challenge with the menace of illegal mining. Because according to them, it is affecting the catch of fish in our water bodies.
Is that true?
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you, Bernard.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make I feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Yo, Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Charlie, today the matter will catch me. I received urgent order from my online store. Customer wants 10 pieces sharp. But my wahala be delivery. Stress so me too. I no get order in weeks. So then I make slow. Charlie, I decide to deliver this thing myself. Quiet. I was willing to trust my small tired car like that. But boy, I no even leave my area where the whole place full of snow. Engine kaput, pasca. As the boys they help me push the car off the road, where I look up and raise my head, where I see for Fidelity Bank billboard top. This too just be chapter. Ebefa mpa. Then Norma Vim come. Listen, I dog the sadness and find Okada fast. I deliver all the goods, collected my money, and even got referrals from this customer. Ebefa mpa. At Fidelity Bank, we believe you can achieve your dreams. Believe with us. Ebefa.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Well, before the business news, here's a quick one from a listener. Bernard, the traffic on the Kasua-Accra road is so bad at Teteku due to road construction at Teteku. The traffic is beyond control. Lots of people waiting for trotros at various bus stops, including school children. If nothing is done in the next 10 minutes, people will have to be very late for work. So this is an appeal to those fixing the road on the Weja stretch. Please add tamper justice with mercy. It's not easy for the people of Tetegu and those areas. Business news brought to you by MTN, Goil, and Access Bank. Lati has the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. This is the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, and Access Bank. Coming up this morning, Association of Ghana Industries demands immediate reversal of upward adjustment in utility tariffs as announced by the PRC effective tomorrow. Also, more gas supply at the filling station near you from this morning as LPG marketers are sure of full resolution to ongoing shortages by the end of Tuesday. Later, if your company did not participate in the 2024 Citi Business Olympics, oh dear, you missed out big time. You will hear how business is massively guarded for fun, with GCB Bank proving its dominance one more time in corporate sports. My name is Lati. Thank you for joining us. Details of our stories now. The Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, is demanding an immediate reversal of the recent increment in utility tariffs by the Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission, PRC. Effective tomorrow, that's October 1, there will be a 3.02% increase in electricity cost and a 1.86% rise in water tariffs. PRC cites exchange rate fluctuations as one of the reasons for the upward adjustment. But in an interview with Citi Business News, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of AGI, Chona Makwelo, said the upward adjustment in utility tariffs will increase operational costs of manufacturers and deplete the purchasing power of consumers.
We're asking the regulatory authority to be concerned about the plight of industry and ensure that at least in the next quarter, they either take steps to reduce and at least or maintain it at the rate that it was before, because this increment really is not going to go well for industrial development, because as I mentioned, it will be a price that will easily have to be absorbed by the producer, because at this rate we cannot push it to the consumer, and it's really hurting industry. A lot of companies are really getting out of business because of these high levels of utility. Adding up a 1% increment in electricity, imagine your production activities are into millions of dollars. 1% is a big deal.
Chona Makwelo is the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries. Now, some economists are criticizing the Bank of Ghana's introduction of the Ghana Gold coin, saying the initiative is not a viable solution to the depreciating cedi. Last week, the central bank unveiled the Ghana Gold coin to discourage dollar hoarding and absorb excess liquidity in the market, a move expected to strengthen the local currency against major trading currencies. But economist Professor Godfrey Bokpin has his doubt.
The reason, in as much as we acknowledge that this is an alternative, the market is dry, largely also because of lack of confidence and all of that. This is not the solution. You want to look at it from two different angles. It is the introduction of the gold coin is not a substitute for managing the economy well. It is not, because the fundamental driving factors pushing the cedi to lose its own against the major trading currencies, when it comes to fiscal discipline, when it comes to enhancing the productive capacity of the economy, less import reliance, adding value to the export of your raw commodities, this doesn't substitute for all of that.
That was economist Professor Godfrey Bokpin there. The Bank of Ghana is confident that there are enough gold reserves to plug any shortfall in Ghana's quest for a cocoa syndication loan or cocoa board's proposed self-financing arrangement. Funding for this year's cocoa crop season, which has already taken off, has been pegged at $1.5 billion, out of which $600 million will be raised through syndication, with the remainder coming through alternative sources. Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison is hopeful the country's robust gold reserves will be leveraged to mitigate any potential financial pressures to ensure that Ghana remains on a strong economic footing.
It's more or less replacing the syndication of banks with the brand companies who are going to be buying cocoa during the last quarter of the year. This is new, so we are all quite, waiting to see how well this new arrangement will work. This is the first time that this exercise, this new self-financing scheme has been put into place, but we think that we have enough in terms of reserve flows from our gold exports as an insurance in case things don't go as well as expected on the cocoa side.
Dr. Ernest Addison is Governor Bank of Ghana. More on the economy, because liquidity on the money market remains tight as the government missed its treasury bill target by a significant 2.6 billion Ghana cedis. Per the latest auction results from the Bank of Ghana, government secured 4.7 billion Ghana cedis of its short-term instrument against an ambitious target of 7.4 billion Ghana cedis. Here is more.
The shortfall represents an undersubscription of about 35.9%. The 91-day bill received a significant portion of the bids, with all 2.59 billion Ghana cedis tendered accepted. About 830 million Ghana cedis of the bids from investors came from the 182-day bill, while 1.3 billion Ghana cedis were made up of the 364-day bills. Yields on the treasury bills went up marginally, with interest rates averaging between 25 and 28%. For market analysts, this trend is once again largely due to the large auction target and market dynamics. The treasury is set to increase its borrowing target 5.98 billion Ghana cedis in the next treasury bill auction.
Daniel Odro Mensah with that report. On the forex market this morning, the dollar is trading at 16 cedis 55 pesos. The British pound selling at 21 cedis. The euro could be sold to you at 18 cedis 30 pesos. To one of our headline stories now, and consumers of LPG can begin heaving a sigh of relief as supply of the product to retail outlets in Accra is expected to improve from this morning. It follows the resolution of issues related to the reconciliation of quantities of LPG imported into the country between the Tema Oil Refinery and the National Petroleum Authority. Last week, some consumers were hit with LPG shortages, leaving many of them in distress as they searched for outlets to refill their cylinders. The LPG Marketers Association say the situation has been resolved. Gabriel Kumi is Vice President of the association.
You know, we started loading on Friday. We did some loading too yesterday, Saturday. But the nature of the shortage was such that 1.5 days of loading will not be able to really stabilize the market. If we get full loading tomorrow, we are hopeful that by Tuesday, the situation will have to be normalized. So as we speak now, about 60-70% of LPG outlets within the Greater Accra region are having products. So hopefully this week, beginning tomorrow, we are likely to see a very stable supply on the market.
Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi. Now the curtains have closed on the 2024 City Business Olympics, and Corporate Ghana is applauding the organizers, that's Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, for a spectacular event. Over 60 companies went head-to-head in fierce competition, but only a select few claimed the prized titles. Now Shika sees a report from the Eden High Sports Complex at Ouija.
It was a day filled with excitement and networking as Corporate Ghana gathered at the Eden High Sports Complex for the most anticipated sporting event of the year. More than 60 companies competed for trophies and ultimate bragging rights. By the end of the one-day event, GCB Bank had fulfilled its promise of retaining its title as the ultimate champions. The team once again proved their dominance, securing their 5th consecutive victory at the prestigious corporate sporting event organized by Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. GCB Bank delivered a stellar performance, earning a total of 9 medals, 6 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze, solidifying its position as the top competitor.
It's not being easy. We just want to tell everybody that the GCB resilience is still on, that the determination, this is very intentional, and a lot of work goes into this.
We've won it back to back for 8 years. What we want to suggest to Citi FM is that you probably want to set up a Hall of Fame, put GCB there, and we become the standard. We no more compete. We come, we play around, and let the rest compete. We become the standard. Otherwise, we keep winning. And our MD has said something. He said in the last 4 years, what we have been doing is just comedies. It's just to practice. We are actually going to start competing in terms of dominating. So you can imagine what's going to happen next year. So we want to suggest, for the sake of the other companies, just set up a Hall of Fame, put us there, and we become the standard.
Alisa Hotels followed closely, securing 5 medals, 3 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze.
We are going to hold on to the next year, the very next year, and the very next year after. We are going to shoot them down anytime, any day.
Until we decide that now we are relaxing for any company to come in. Apart from that, being the chairman of the sporting committee in Alisa Hotel, every year we are taking this cup.
Federated Commodities Limited, FEDCO, claimed 4 medals, including 2 gold and 2 silver, while Pestle Systems made a strong impact with 4 medals, 1 gold, 2 silver and 1 bronze, earning them a spot among the event's top performers. We spoke to some of the award winners at the conclusion of the event.
All of these, the young talent plus the experience and professional coaching knowledge and the grace of God. And of course, Citi FM putting a game like this together for some of us to be able to show our abilities in that regard. These have brought us this victory.
The Citi Business Olympics 2024 was powered by Channel 1 TV and supported by 97.3 Citi FM, with sponsorship from Piva Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Bethel Logistics, experts in shipping logistics, Lozati Lozenges from Unicom Chemist, and The Luckiest.
That was Nashika Caesar's report. So many came, many saw, but only GCB walked away with the bragging right and coveted Company of the Year recognition. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. Join us at 1 p.m. for the afternoon edition of Citi Business News, and later at 8:50 p.m. on Channel 1 TV for CNR Business. But for now, you can visit our website, citinewsroom.com/business, for more on our top stories. My name is Neil Atilati. I wish you a good business day.
For over 60 years, Good Energy has served you top quality fuels. Goil brings you Super XP for a smooth ride. It is available in Goil stations nationwide. Goil Super XP is fortified with special additives which help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Goil Super XP is quality fuel, the ideal choice for most vehicles. Energize your ride with Goil Super XP. Who feel ya? Huh? Who feel? Good energy. Joy, energy.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
We understand the excitement and preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chopbox, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a quick and more.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Oh my God, I may say I know, you do me bad then you know.
Business News was brought to you by Girl Good Energy. Brings you Girl Super XP, the ideal choice for most vehicles. It's flowing Wawa at many Girl stations in the country. Just go fuel up your vehicle and enjoy a smooth ride with all the benefits. Girl Super XP is fortified with a special additive that gives longevity to your engine. Makes your engine perform to the max using minimal fuel, and it is suitable for most vehicles. As you journey the road, look out for Girl stations with a Girl Super XP sign and go fuel up. Girl Super XP, who feel it, huh? Girl Good Energy, kickoff is coming next. Gabby Affairs already in the studio. It's brought to you by Polytank and Zonda Ghana. Polytank is the name we know when it comes to water storage. They've been around for more than 30 years. So go for guaranteed quality. Choose Polytank. Polytank near Papanuni. Just note that we don't request for Momo payments online. And your one-stop shop for quality trucks like Shantui bulldozers, excavators, graders, payloaders, rollers, power pickups, TX trucks and oil tanks. As Zonda Ghana Limited, all made and assembled right here in Ghana. Top-notch after-sales service await you, and your heavy and light-duty trucks as well as machinery. More than about 7 branches around the country. Head office of the Tema Aflao Road, close enough to the free zones enclave in Tema. So call us now 050-177-2222, 050-177-3333. Zonda built in Ghana, building Ghana. And Gabby Affairs, yeah. Hey, happy about that, Tongo. Somebody do something. Yeah.
Oh, Charlie, kill him.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good
How
to
you doing?
see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too.
It was a packed weekend.
Yep.
And GCB proved their mettle again.
Yeah, I told you. I said it that GCB are the Manchester City of the business. City Business Olympics.
Good morning to Piva Beverages. Their CEO did not see it up.
For the CEO challenge.
I tell you.
Charlie.
Exciting talent will be the player to take this corner kick. Headed on by Sarr, pushed in by Solanke, was it? Tottenham get their third.
And Tottenham power more pressure on Erik ten Hag's position as Manchester United manager with a dominant 3-0 win at Old Trafford on Sunday. We're running through the result from match week 6 of the English Premier League. Plus later today, the Ghana Football Association will take its turn at the parliament for the sitting by the Parliamentary for Sports, Youth and Culture. And then check out results from the Ghana Premier League. 3 wins out of 3 for Mediama Sporting Club.
This is really something what is not secret. Mediama is a team who really has very good players, and every position we are very strong.
All right, more from Mediama's head coach in a bit, and then we finish off with today's updates and what happened at the Citi Business Olympics at the Eden Heights.
What we want to suggest to Citi FM is that you probably want to set up a Hall of Fame. Put GCB there and we become the standard. We no more compete. We come, we play around, and let the rest compete.
Interesting. And GCB retaining the title at this year's Citi Business Olympics at the Eden Heights Sports Complex. My name is Gabi Ofe. All right, let's start with this. And the Confederation of African Football is on the brink of surprising reversal regarding Ghana's eligibility to host Category C matches. Now, CAF revoked the certification of the Barbara Sports Stadium for hosting such games, leaving Ghana without a single approved venue that meets international standards. And as a result of this decision, Ghana was forced to select an alternative stadium outside the country for its upcoming October AFCON qualifier against Sudan, following CAF's directive, and Ghana could receive temporary clearance to host the October AFCON qualifier against Sudan if one of the inspected venues is suitable. So we'll keep you posted regards to that story. For the Ghana Football Association, they are scheduled to meet with the Parliamentary Select Committee this morning at 10 a.m. as part of an investigation into the nation's repeated shortcomings in major tournaments. The inquiry is being led by Wisdom Kobna Mensah Woyome and commences on Tuesday and Wednesday with appearances from the Minister of Youth and Sports, Gauka, the National Sports Authority, and former Captain Stephen Appiah. So today will be the GFA appearing before the Select Committee. In the Ghana Premier League, Nations FC and Hearts of Oak played out a goalless draw at the Dr. Kwame Chey Stadium in Abrankase on Sunday afternoon, with neither teams managing to find breakthrough. At the Golden City Park, Brickum Chelsea and Kotoko also shared the spoils in a 1-0 draw. And here's Kotoko's head coach, Prosper Natiogum.
Yeah, I would say so. Especially based on the chances that we created. We had numerous of them that we should have converted. There were a lot of spaces. Behind the laterals, and then we tried to play the balls behind the laterals, which was very good. Out of that, we got a goal. So we continued, had the chances, but we couldn't convert. So to me, it was a good game. As you said, the intensity was very high, right from the blast of the whistle.
All right, so that's Kotoko's head coach, Prosper Natiogum, speaking there. Well, over to the Crosby War Memorial Park, Mediaman Sporting Club kept their perfect record intact with a 2-1 win over Basake Holy Stars. Yes, Mediaman's head coach, Nabosa Kapo.
This is really something what is not secret. Mediama is a team who really has very good players, and every position we are very strong, and players are working excellent. Serious competition in our squad is if you see players who are in Tarkwa, there is also a lot of very good players, and this is our secret, our effort from inside. We are really very tough, and I hope we will keep this energy, and we will keep and fix some things in movement, and we will be stronger in future.
All right, so that's Mediaman's head coach Nabosa Kapo speaking there. At the Pando Sports Stadium, Hearts of Lions and Bibiani Gold Stars played out a goalless draw. Both teams entered the match unbeaten and were eager to protect their records. Vision FC lost to Samatex 1996 at the Century Sport Complex by 2-1. Well, after 3 games, the table is looking like this. Mediaman Sporting Club top 9 points, Bibiani Gold Stars second, 7 points, Heart of Lions third with 6 points. And for the red zone or the relegation zone, Dreams FC 3 points, Diana 2, Legon Cities 1. Let's get to the 2024 Citi Business Olympics, and GCB Bank once again claimed the top spot at this year's Business Olympics, securing its 7th win at the highly regarded corporate sports competition organized by Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. They finished off with a total of 9 medals, 6 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze. And Lisa Hotel followed closely, delivering an impressive performance with 5 medals, 3 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze. But for GCB, they want their outfit to be installed in the Hall of Fame chart after delivering another impressive performance.
Yeah, so, we've won it back to back for 8 years. What we want to suggest to Citi FM is that you probably want to set up a Hall of Fame, put GCB there, and we become the standard. We no more compete. We come, we play around, and let the rest compete. We become the standard. Otherwise, we keep winning. And our MD has said something. He said in the last 4 years, what we have been doing is just comedies. It's just to practice. We are actually going to start competing in terms of dominating. So you can imagine what's going to happen next year. So we want to suggest, for the sake of the other companies, just set up a Hall of Fame, put us there, and we become the standard. Then we will go.
Oh, thank you. Can I get your full name and designation?
My name is Peter Bosrochi. I'm the head of HR Risk and Operations. Yeah.
All right, it's an interesting thought, and the event was powered by Channel 1 TV and supported by 97.3 Citi FM, with sponsorship from Piva Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Bethel Logistics, expert in shipping logistics, Lozati Lozenges from Unicom Chemist Limited, and the Luckiest. Let's get to Old Trafford now, and Tottenham produced a magnificent display to our class 10-man Manchester United at Old Trafford, and Power renewed pressure on manager Erik ten Hag. But for the Dutch manager, he's not too concerned about being replaced.
We are very disappointed when you concede half, and we all there on one page, on one boat, together, the ownership, the leadership group, the staff, and the players group as well. So no, I don't have that concern.
Rob. United boss Erik ten Hag speaking there to Chelsea, and Cole Palmer became the first player to score 4 first-half goals in a Premier League game as Chelsea swept away Brighton 4-2 to go fourth in the table. Here's Cole Palmer.
Cole, was this maybe the best performance of your career so far?
I'm not sure. Maybe it was up there.
Yeah. What was happening when, especially in that first half, did you feel something different today? Because you were just unstoppable.
Yeah, I've not had a pre-season, so the first game's coming back, I was just taking a bit of time to get up to speed, but now I feel like, I'm at full fitness, and yeah, I'm ready.
Any favourites from the 4 goals?
The free kick, probably.
Chelsea star boy Cole Palmer speaking there. Mohamed Salah's penalty sent Liverpool back to the top of the Premier League as they beat Wanderers Wolves by 2-1. Arsenal scored twice in stoppage time to earn a dramatic 4-2 victory over Leicester City at the Emirates. Anthony Gordon's second half penalty and Newcastle a point as Manchester City were held to a draw at the St James's Park. The table: Liverpool top 15 points, Manchester City 14, Arsenal 14, and Chelsea 4th with 13 points. Later tonight at the Vitality Stadium, Bournemouth take on Southampton at 7 p.m. Monday Night Football, and there's live radio commentary on 97.3. In Spain, Angel Correa scored a dramatic stoppage time equalizer for Atletico Madrid against City rivals Real Madrid in a derby that was halted for about 20 minutes midway through the second half following crowd issues. That's your sports. My name is Gabi Ofe. For more, you can head to citisportsonline.com and on X at Citi Sports GHA. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Shell, Lashelle, Zonda GH, and Polytown Ghana, Papa Nunye. My name is Gabi Ofe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
Hey, well, yo, I dey tire for Abu chef. See, everything I do, Abu won't do some. Last year, I bought a cattle farm in Yanton. I see he go buy a farm next to mine. I marry Fauzia. No, he marries Fauzia's sister. I buy my motorbike. I see no, he go buy motorbike too.
Hey, but you don't see say since you buy your bike, he has bought 4 motorbikes which have all broken down. He don't maintain bikes at all.
His problem be say he dey put wrong lubricant for his bike inside. The correct motorbike oil where if you put inside be Shell Advanced Lubricant. Shell Advanced Lubricant be the only motorbike oil where they make them for motorbike to protect engine, clutch and brake. Where no. Wait me, wallahi, I no go tell him. Shell. Hey, well, hey, where you dey go?
If you no go tell Abu, me I dey go tell him say make you use Shell Advanced Lubricant for him bike.
Hey,
visit any Shell station or distributor today to get your Shell Advanced Lubricant for your motorbike. Shell Advance, complete protection for your bike.
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract I've been chasing for years now? I just got awarded the deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light-duty trucks, and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, power pickups, 4 land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks. Made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sales service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing.
You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office. Strong, durable, and tough on our roads.
Hey, that's from Zonda too?
Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy.
Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light-duty trucks. Located at Tema, off their Flower Road. Call 0501-772-222 or 0501-773-333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This one day give and take, your friend who good exchange. Puma Gasaba, blue cylinder, clean and safe. Hey, this one day give and take, your friend who good exchange. Puma Gasaba, blue cylinder, clean and safe. Hey, take empty from your food. All we knew, no more stress. Good exchange with Puma Gas. This one be good exchange. Say bye-bye to firewood and coal and your health challenge. Good exchange with Puma Gas. This one there give and take, your friend who good exchange.
Visit any Puma Gas exchange point near you with your empty cylinder for a safe and already filled one. Puma Gas, a good exchange.
The Births and Deaths Registry beckons all of us to forge a future where each birth is duly recorded and every Ghanaian life is cherished and remembered. To help capture these moments, registration is absolutely free for the first day to 12 months after birth. You are, however, encouraged to register within the first 90 days of a child's birth for timely data capturing to help government plan for the child. Ensure that you present a maternal health record book or weighing card for the registration of births. By registering births, we lay the foundation for progress and prosperity in our beloved nation. Our offices are opened from Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. This message is brought to you by the Births and Deaths Registry under the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, supported by the Public Sector Reform for Results Project and the World Bank. Call 030-3941-222 or visit pdr.gov.gh for further details. From the first cry to bidding farewells, everyone counts. Register now.
Beyond every boardroom is a story waiting to be written. A story of a business and its potential, of a community that thrives, a hospital that serves, and energy that powers millions of dreams. It's a story that only gets better with a partner that has the expertise and solutions to make it a reality. At Absa Corporate and Investment Banking, we are invested in your story, and we invite you to write it with us because your story matters. Absa, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
With the recent increase in electricity tariffs and fuel prices, power, although unreliable, has become expensive, and owning a noisy generator becomes a headache rather than luxury. For an affordable and durable electricity solution, you need to go solar with Translight. Feel the independence, experience the comfort, and be productive. Translight Solar. Wherever there is sunlight, there is Translight. Think solar. Think Translight. Locate us at 98 Boundary Road, East Legon, in between ARS and the American House at the White House bus stop. Visit our website at translightsolar.com. Call us on 0504-249-229 or 0206-542-454 or reach us through email info@translightsolar.com.
Ever dreamt of studying in Canada? Was your study visa application unsuccessful? Are you in a dilemma as to which course of study will get you that dream job in Canada? Well, the answers you seek are coming. Best Education Services proudly brings you the exclusive Study in Canada Fair. 17 Canadian public institutions with courses from bachelor's to master's degrees will be present to assist you choose the right program. There is more. Get visa counseling and scholarship information. So mark your calendars. Accra, October 14th and 15th, Accra City Hotel, Kumasi. 16th October at the Lancaster Hotel, Kumasi. This event is free, so register now by calling or WhatsApping 050-422-0272. That's 050-422-0272. Study in Canada Fair 2024. It's your ticket to success.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Legend
21 minutes to 8, 7:39 is the time. Happy birthday to Ampim Osajifu Anye Amwampong Tabraku, the third Manhini of Wenchi traditional area. Nana Nyankwada, and congratulations on your coronation. Nana Ampim Osajifu Anye Amwampong Tabraku, the third. Very powerful name. Happy birthday to Steve Wanompe Jr. Oh my God, what a blessed addition to our team. Join us, I don't know, less than I think a year ago or something, but he's been just one phenomenal young guy. Steve Wanompe. Oh my God, you've been well brought up, done so well. Very refreshing addition to the team. Happy belated birthday to Now Yokote, host of Brunch in the City.
Yep.
Celebrated a birthday on Saturday. Enjoy the day.
And yesterday was Nana Tufo Boateng's birthday.
Oh my God, the rave.
Nana Tufo is one of my favorite people.
The rave master.
The rave master.
The rave master. The rave master. Happy birthday to you, Nana Tufo.
Belated.
Nana Tuf. Tema's finest. Ghana's finest. So this morning, one of our listeners said, Bernard, why didn't you bring Nathan and Godfred to the newspaper review? And I said, oh, they are not on schedule for this week. And they said, okay. He thought you people were running away from something.
Running away from it?
I don't know.
We are not running away from anything.
Not running away from anything. Nothing happened this weekend. That's because you don't run away.
No, but whatever it is that happened.
You mean that is down?
More will happen. More.
They say, I'm going to tease you, man. You cry. You know they do you silly. Oh, Charlie. Oh, has it gotten this bad?
Oh, yeah.
I remember I told you in 2013 that in 10 years time we'll still be here. You know, I told this guy, you know, when I advised him, doesn't listen.
When have you advised when I haven't listened?
I told him that, you see.
But that is not, you know, that's not advice. You only...
The team that I root for sometimes, it happened, 1989, they won the league. 1990, they know if you win. They say, Man U, they say, Liverpool will come back 30 years. United have done 10 of the 30. It's left
so that's 20.
Because Alex Ferguson left in 2013. Charlie, they went to bring David Moyes.
You don't sit up.
They go Luis Van Gaal.
You don't sit up, Charlie.
They go bring Jose Mourinho. They go carry Leighton's favorite, the former striker, Ole. You know, B. Then they go bring ETH, Charlie. ETH.
Sorry.
You know Gonduru. You know the thing they vex me past. You, this guy, the Ghana boy, what's his name?
Which your Menu?
You, they score you, they play master game. You, the first, you know, master game.
I mean master, bro.
You know, they score you 3-0, they won't play master game.
Where they go? No, he hurts.
The first half, the people tear you, Charlie. So you are not worried.
Sorry,
you are not bothered.
No, because we kind of been expecting it. So.
You accept it.
How many years will it take to come back?
No, I think
the decline.
It will take at least another 2 years. If they don't get the right, if they get the right manager, 2 years.
Optimistic.
No, if they get the right manager. So this guy is not the right manager. He has severe tactical diarrhea.
Yes,
he has tactical diarrhea.
Good morning to you, gentlemen. On a more serious note, today is the last working day of the month. It's actually the last day of the month, and the clarion call for the Galamsey to stop. It seems as if maybe the politicians or the president, they think that these people are just calling, they're just bluffing, you know. So I think today is the day for organized labor, for all of us to seriously let the nation know that we have to move this to the next level. Yep. Because, and it's almost every weekend, new videos emerge. There was one that I got from a lady I interviewed a few months back from the river called the Amanzule in the Western region. So she took a video. Amanzule.
Yeah.
So this river, in March this year, people were swimming, catching fish, And then they were awarded a mining lease to a company she alleges is owned by some MPP officials in that area. And she contrasts the footage of the Amanzule today with what it was in March. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. So every day new videos emerge of new destruction. New bodies join. So now fishers are joining, pharmaceutical companies, and I mean the GGA president, very, 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 very clear in his call yesterday on Saturday. You know, and I was hoping that the president would use that opportunity to say, you know, okay, Mr. President, I've heard you, and I'm going to roll out a plan. I'm going to call the what do you call it? I'm going to call the state of emergency or something. He didn't even. You know, Charlie, sometimes you say, "Eshangu, wo amepo." Hey, I was like, I mean,
oh, he's surprised though.
No, I won't call it surprise.
You kind of expected it,
but it's a new level. It's not.
It's not a new level.
It's a because for me the moment it was a good moment. All right, so there are indirect ways in which people have called for Galamsey to stop. We are campaigning on air. But this is, you are the president of Ghana sitting on the front row. GJ president has invited you and is chit-chatting with you throughout the occasion. And the GJ president would have told them, Mr. President, today I'll talk about Galamsey. And knowing Jumfo, you said today I will come to Galamsey. And Jumfo took his time. Do you have his audio? I mean, he spoke well. And then he said, Mr. President, you said you would do it. Oh, but now they look in paper top, they edit the script.
But the same thing happened at GBA, Kumasi.
Yeah, actually.
Boafu told him is,
you know, because that one we were on air here. I didn't get to follow it like that. It was. Look, let's hear Mr. Jumfo. Let's hear Mr. Jumfo speaking.
Now, Chairman, His Excellency, illegal mining, commonly referred to as Galamsey, is currently a topical issue in the country due to its devastating effect on the environment, particularly our water bodies, which serve as major sources of drinking water. My administration welcomes all stakeholders in the country who have condemned this devilish act and are calling for urgent steps to tackle the issue head-on. Galamsey has wreaked havoc on our environment and all our water bodies. As a Ghanaian, it saddens me to see once clean bodies of water turn a dark brown color. This is shameful, and we must all, as Ghanaians, wage a war against Galamsey. It will be recalled that a few weeks ago, the GJ organized a press conference to call for an end to Galamsey in cooperation with the Media Coalition Against Galamsey and other civil society organizations. There should be strict enforcement of all mining laws and regulations without any concessions, as well as the imposition of maximum sentences on offenders. This is a reliable approach to addressing this issue. We are aware that some time ago, Mr. President, the father of the nation, made a firm vow to stop Galamsey. But regrettably, that promise has not been fulfilled, Mr. President. You are barely 3 months until the end of the administration, and we are hopeful that you will deal with the situation before you leave office. Now, Chairman, Your Excellency, we still maintain that a state of emergency must be declared over our water bodies and all planned and active mining concessions. We still maintain that a state of emergency must be declared over our water bodies and all planned and active mining concessions overlapping with river buffers should be abrogated, and all mining activities within 100 meters buffer of all rivers and streams should be halted with immediate effect. We also reiterate that LI 2462 should be repealed immediately. Let me also use this opportunity to implore the two leading presidential candidates who are supposed to be here with us today. They accepted the invitation and agreed to be here this evening. Unfortunately, they are not here yet. But I want to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to implore these two leading candidates, presidential candidate and all other presidential candidates, to make a firm commitment to the fight against Galamsey, so we can hold them accountable when any of them assume office in 2025. I urge the media to preface all of their stories with hashtag Stop Galamsey Now. We are also not stopping, and I can assure you from the GJ perspective, we are also not stopping until Galamsey stops. Galamsey protesters. Now, Chairman, Your Excellency, I want to commend the Ghana Police Service for exhibiting a high level of professionalism and restraint during that recent 3-day protest against Galamsey by some citizens of this country. We note some excesses and provocations that occurred during the demonstration, and the GJ condemned these excesses in no uncertain terms. However, we also believe that remanding the protesters for 2 weeks is too extreme and does not send positive signals when it comes to protecting human rights. And does not send positive signals when it comes to protecting human rights. Our Constitution mandates us to protect the human rights of citizens in this country. And as the President, I will lead that charge. As a result, we add our voice to calls on the government, police, and the judiciary to take steps to release the protesters immediately.
So that's Mr. Albert Jumfo, president of the GJA.
He's growing on me.
Yeah, he's growing on you. And I think we'll discuss this later. People are wondering, should he have invited the president at all? Seeing that the president has, this is not the first time the Galamsey matter has been raised to him. He's chosen not to comment. But some also feel like it's good he invited him so he could let him know directly what he felt about Galamsey. I don't know where you stand on that, but we'll come to that in a second. In the meantime, Zenith Bank Ghana extends its deepest appreciation to all customers, patrons, and stakeholders for joining us in celebrating our 19th anniversary with our health work that happened last Saturday. It was truly a pleasure to join us mark this special occasion. Thank you for 19 years of financial innovation and excellence. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. And if you're a final year of high school, a graduate or student with big dreams of studying abroad, IDP Education Ghana is giving you the chance of a lifetime. Transform your academic aspirations and career ambitions with the IDP Study World Expo. Meet with reps from over 50 top universities in Canada, the US, Australia, and the UK. This is on the 12th of October at Mervyn Cape Ambassador Hotel, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Register by going to idp.com or call 059-601-2360. Enterprise is excited to roll out our new loyalty program, Enterprise Advantage Points. Customers can now rack up points and score awesome rewards just by making purchases, renewing policies, and more through their self-service portal or the Enterprise Advantage app. Log on to your account, access Advantage Points, and start earning points for rewards like airtime, Momo, and more. Visit my.enterprisegroup.net/GH or download the Enterprise Advantage app to get started, because nothing you do should be pointless. Whether it's the sleek Virtus, the stylish T-Cross, the powerful Amarok, or the stunning T1, or the versatile and spacious Terramont, each one of Volkswagen's brands assembled here in Ghana come with 0% VAT. This is the best time to get yours. Call Universal Motors 0544-338-806. Make every ride more enjoyable with the perfect Volkswagen for you.
Now, if you want a British degree at a fraction of the cost, and if you are thinking about studying in a vibrant place in a community that equips you to get the most useful employability skills, then Lancaster University Ghana should be your number one option. They give you a 50% scholarship when you get admitted, and you are taught by the finest faculty trained to UK standards on their campus. Call them on 020-960-7008 or send them an email, admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana is the only British uni campus in West Africa. Now, when you insist on quality on life, every choice matters. That's why Bell Pack Paper Tissue is the perfect companion for those who demand the best. It offers the softness and strength you need for every occasion. For bulk distribution, call 0551-144-400. Bell Pack Tissues are another quality product from Bell Aqua. And if you are tired of paying over the top in terms of electricity bills, then Translight Solar Limited is your top tier solar solution. They are giving you great setups at wonderful prices, and with their solar systems you can reduce your electricity cost and escape doom so permanently. Find them at East Legon on the 98 boundary road between ARS and the American House, or you can call them on 0504-249-229. Where there's sunlight, there is Translight.
All right, so here we are talking about the date, 30th September. Almost all the press releases, Caleb, you remember the association, the GMA and the allied health institutions issued a press statement early September. I think it was the second week or first week, where they said that if by end of September the demands had not been adhered to, they would advise themselves. Then the TUC, Organized Labour, also did the same. And now you have, today's the day for reckoning, and there doesn't seem to have been a change in the position on this. I don't know if you have any information on what Organized Labour is planning to do this week.
They told us they will have a meeting tomorrow. In the 6 a.m. news we heard from Organized Labour, they said they will have a meeting tomorrow. The outcome will be a very decisive one. So we are looking forward to it.
All right. Yeah. Now, let's start with yesterday's or Saturday, Godfrey. So the GJ president's speech, the president's decision not to... Do you think it was a good idea to even invite him? Because some people... In fact, there's a message I want to read to you for your comment. Somebody said, we probably oughtn't have invited him, so that by inviting him, you basically... where's the... Yes, so this person says, Bernard, the problem is still on the doorstep of those who demonstrate high levels of hypocrisy. With all that is going on, why should anyone even consider making the president a guest of honor at such an event? We invite people to come and pontificate, whether they know we cannot answer them on anything on the day. If relevant groups stop inviting the failing politicians, they will revise their modus operandi. Anthony Fangbawe. I don't know whether you agree with Anthony on that point.
I would not have invited the president.
You think it's...
Yes, if I were on the organizing committee, because I have explained to you several times on this show that the president has ignored local media for a very long time. A lot since the 8 years that he's been in power, outside of the constitutionally mandated appearances where he has to speak to local media, he prefers to speak to foreign media on key issues. There are moments when maybe he's on a local tour, they set up the usual meeting with the state broadcaster, the local state broadcaster presence there, and he speaks. But for a president of his background, he has been surprisingly elusive to get,
to
pin down for the media on key issues that we want to ask him about.
Yeah.
Key issues that the public would want answers to if we had the opportunity to ask him those questions. He hasn't availed himself. So I did not think that would change, by inviting him, because he's shown that over the period he will say what he wants to say, where he wants to say it, when he wants to say it. On this Galamsey matter, he's had several opportunities since the July 2017 famous speech. He hasn't said anything as poignant, as important as that speech. Where is it? Where you understand? Because the reason why everybody references that speech is because of the power of the words, the conviction that was expressed that day. some way, somehow, 7 years down the line, we do not have any other speech to match that particular one. And it's been 7 years.
So you agree with those who feel bringing him was pointless? What about those who think bringing him gave a chance? Because you see, when the president is there, and there's live coverage of it,
you get the attention.
Weight.
Yes.
Because if the president of GG had been saying the same things he said, and there was no president sitting there, it wouldn't have even hit the front page.
Yes.
But today he's on every front page because he basically
would have hit all the front pages. These were journalists who were there, so he would have hit all the front pages.
No, but it may not have had the same impact because he would have said different things. He spoke about different safety. He spoke about many things.
Yes.
So probably everybody would have chosen their own angle.
Yes.
But the angle they all chose was he's saying to Mr. President sat there, stop Galamsey, and then there was a whole round of applause. Do you follow me? So, whilst I
agree with that as well.
The point. Sometimes you may want to. He's the highest citizen of the land.
I appreciate that.
So his coming there is not your endorsement of his policies, but it's an opportunity to use his coming to
speak to him. I understand and I accept that as well, which is why I said I would not. It's not. I'm not saying my decision is a perfect decision.
I get you.
That is what I would have done based on what I feel has been his treatment of our business, of our endeavor, you know. But bringing him there, like you are saying, also means that there is an opportunity to direct the general public's sentiments towards him directly. Because where else would you meet him? If he didn't show up there, where are we going to meet him?
Good point.
He doesn't invite us. He doesn't talk to us anyway. He showed up on our big night. Thank you very much. So we also decided to use that night to speak to him. And I think that's also fair. Which is why we are having the conversation we are having. But even in his response,
based on what you've said, you know, you are not surprised that he didn't even utter a word. Because I felt...
No.
I mean, not even an acknowledgement to Mr. President, I've heard you on Galamsey. And we are doing what we can to solve it or something.
Bernard, I used to keep a list. I used to keep this list with my colleague Nana Majman Asante of important issues that have come up that we expect the president to address first with local media. But not saying he doesn't address them more, but he simply has this preference to speak to foreign press about those things for us to pick the stories from there.
Yeah, when the issues are of that
weight,
nature,
yes, weight. He prefers to go. So you realize he will go and speak to some BBC in some corner, and he will address all the matters he wants to address, or some conference somewhere. Then he will address the matter. You know, that's also his want. I mean, but personally, I just feel like it has been a poor approach.
Galamsey is bigger though, because all the issues you raise are issues that we in the media track. But this is an issue that has generated, I mean, national. I'm yet to see an issue, remind me, that has had the same level of outrage expressed, particularly by civil society and organized labor, the middle classes. This is really a meeting of minds of all well-meaning Ghanaians.
Which is why the response has been disappointing. We've sat here the past month, especially the past 2 weeks, and spoken about the lack of urgency, because on the president's in-tray, there can be nothing more important than this. As in this country, bar the failing economy, which has been on his table for the past 4 years. This is the single most important thing on his in-tray. But some way, somehow, other things seem to get attention. And I said this on Friday. The national team's potential game that will be played outside of this country has received more attention from the government than Galamsey.
Because we are told that today...
But if you go to there's work that is being done, the resources that are being thrown. If I were to tell you some of the things I know were done last week just to get Ghana, not to play out of Ghana, that is decisive leadership.
So it's not like they don't know how to do it.
It's not like they don't know.
If they want to do it,
they have simply chosen not to do it. And when we get into the conversation properly, I will tell you how disappointed I am with myself and Ghanaians generally on this matter.
Let's do tech and social media trends. And by the way, today is also an EdTech Monday. So at 9 a.m., Nathan will be having a very interesting conversation with his panel. And that's coming up after, of course, this next hour. All All right, but before that, let's get into the segment.
But Tech and Social Media is brought to us by First Bank. They're saying that if you're sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it's pretty easy. They have the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, PAPS. You can send and receive money from these countries in minutes for everything you want to do. So just visit any of their branches nationwide with your cash and your money is transferred in no time. You receive money also the same way. All you need is a First Bank Ghana account. Is another way they put you first. For more information on the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems PAPS, please call 0596 921 921. First Bank Ghana, you first. And Telecel SME Month is ongoing. Prepare to transform your business. This September with Telecel, we're celebrating Telecel SME Month under the theme Connecting Businesses, Connecting the Woman in Business. So a lot is happening. Be part of it. Here's the number to call: 0302334040. Visit www.telecel.com.gh to benefit 50% discount on bills, shopping, and group lunch vouchers, 50% cash back to merchants, and free radio and digital adverts. There is the red loyalty for business, a lot more going on. So jump on, call those numbers, visit that website, and be a part of the Telecel SME Month.
All right, let's get into the trends for the morning. Let's start off with, the topic we just finished, or the topic we just started. Galamsey. So 2 hashtags very related. Stop Galamsey now. Say no to Galamsey. People are talking a lot about that. The 2 hashtags have gained a lot of prominence on social media in the last week or so, especially after the protest. So people are talking heavily about that. There are talks of another protest between the 3rd and 5th of October. I'm sure we'll get more updates as the days roll by. 2 other things dominating in the trends: sports, football, lots of that. You can imagine after Man United's loss to Spurs, lots of Man United related themes. Ten Hag, Man United, Tottenham, Man United again trending. Rashford, Ineos, Dallo, all of that. Bruno Fernandes, all of that trending. Madueke also trending. In Spain, the Madrid derby was on. It ended 1-1 between Atletico and Real. So Couture trending there as well. Real Madrid and other related themes also trending. If you go to the world of tech, and the California governor, or the California governor, Gavin Newsom, yesterday vetoed a hotly contested AI intelligence safety bill. And after the tech industry raised objections saying it could drive AI companies from the state and hinder motivation. Now, Newsom said he had asked the leading experts on generative AI to help California develop workable guardrails that focus on developing an empirical science-based trajectory analysis. And he also ordered state agencies to expand the assessment of the risks from potential catastrophic events tied to AI use. So that's the conversation, Rich. So it looks like now the legislators are also jumping into it, trying to see how best.
Yeah, which is good. I am all for regulation that is responsible. But it would seem to me that some of the provisions in the legislation from California are really, really draconian. Of course, I know of the criticisms that came in when they first laid it and the efforts that were made to improve it. But even the improvements have not gone far enough.
Okay.
Because you want to encourage innovation and not stifle the same. But if you look at how the provisions are, it will go a long way to undermine innovation in many respects. So I think they need to do a lot more.
Okay, we'll see. Yes, the conversations will happen. The bill's author is Democratic State Senator Scott Wiener. He said the legislation was necessary to protect the public before advances in AI became either unwieldy or uncontrollable. So you can understand the spirit behind it, but maybe it's the working of the law. That seems to be
the thing is that these types of technology, they are almost always ahead of regulation, because the space is changing every day. New AI tools are coming in on stream. Every single hour, new things are happening. So I understand that, but we should also be careful not to stifle innovation. Yes, it's a good initiative. The European Union has done its part. The UK Parliament is also exploring this particular matter. They have a draft legislation which they are working on strongly. US wants to lead the pack for us, but we should hasten slowly.
All right, that's the segment for the morning.
Baby, First bank, baby.
You're looking for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Wouldn't we say to banky baby, no lie. Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking, it's in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no many time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilling, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first. Woo!
Nobody feed you, I'm like us. First Bank, we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody seek up, yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Kind of way, tell you so the more money promo now.
Everybody likes money, but what do we like more than money? More money! Join the Telecel More Money promo and win money, more money, and even more money. Simply opt in for free and reload your mobile and broadband and be the lucky winner of the 1 million Ghana Cedis grand prize. Also win cash prizes of up to 3 million Ghana Cedis in the daily and weekly draw. Opt in for free by dialing *500# or send WIN to 500. Or you can opt in on the Telecel Play app. The more you reload, the higher chances of winning in the Telecel More Money promo. Keep loading, win, and be a millionaire.
Telecel. Connecting energies.
Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
I am Ohinere Gifty Auntie. You see, it always feels good when you receive that salary alert. I made a bold decision to invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan. And this means that I will get these alerts every month throughout retirement for the rest of my life. You too can retire on your own terms. So invest a lump sum in the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan today and enjoy guaranteed monthly income for life. Call Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or visit oldmutual.com.gh to sign up today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Hey, nowadays germs are in the air. Aren't you concerned?
Concerned about what?
About the children, of course. In times like this, they sneeze, cough, and fall ill just like that.
This is why we need to give our children and ourselves a fighting chance with the maximum protection of Dettol soap. Dettol soap not only refreshes you, but it can be used for bathing and washing hands. So keep calm. Get Dettol soap.
Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Dettol is endorsed by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to the new normal. STEAM education. At Sparks Learning Experience, Science plus Arts equals holistic learning, hands-on teaching, creating knowledge anew, experiential learning. That is what we do at Sparks. The future is bright with skills in hand and knowledge in action. Enroll your child at Sparks today and watch their skills come alive. We've got drone piloting, programming, AI, robotics, among others for your child. They will receive exceptional STEAM mentorship from our founder, Professor Fred Magbangaluri. Sparks Learning Experience, where skills shine bright. Admission is open now. Find us at 1 University Avenue, Bukusu, or call us on 055 7637 149.
Anymore, pop quiz. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Can you give me 3 words that start with omni?
Oh, that's easy. Omnibus, omnipotent,
Omniwana.
omnibus. The bank with a really nice signboard.
Hey, Radzi, you mean Omni Basic? OMNIBSIC. Omni Basic. Let me hear you say it.
Omni Basic.
Perfect.
Is that an abbreviation?
Not entirely. And it's not just a bank with nice signboards either. Omni Basic Bank is Ghana's fastest growing bank with innovative banking products and headquarters in Atlantic Tower at Airport City, Accra, as well as 40 branches across the country. Omni Basic Bank has the final word on excellent customer service delivery in Ghana.
Plus, they have the coolest signboard.
Yes, they do. And the coolest name, Omni Basic.
At your service.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
As someone suspect, when you pay as a bit. And if you are like you, I will know so how far then. Miss Alpha, I will not for that city. Oh, Mr. Break office, I want nobody I confess.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Badi bia mede ne kopa ne fiere taka mobutu tapu kuchu bese brusa o mamusu ete tribia we si anenda brofu ina bedi
8:15 Citi Breakfast Show. Imagine launching your career, starting your own business, or embarking on advanced studies within 6 months of graduation. At Ashesi, that's nearly every graduate's reality. From Accra to Nairobi, from London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and are leading successful careers. Regardless of what you choose to study, an Ashesi education gives you the strong foundation you need for life. Visit ashesi.edu.gh to learn more about the Ashesi advantage. Puma Gas on a mission to replace these daily unhealthy practices of cooking with firewood and charcoal to a healthier and cleaner cooking solution. So introducing Puma Gas Cylinder Exchange Program, designed to align with the Ministry of Energy and National Petroleum Authority's Cylinder Recirculation Program. With the goal of delivering LPG in a safe and convenient manner, simply visit any Puma gas station or exchange point across the country with your empty cylinder and you are guaranteed a new, fully filled cylinder, safe and hassle-free. We call it the good exchange. With Puma Gas, a good exchange. EdTech Monday is coming up later today, and what do we have today, Nathan?
Well, today we are talking about gender equality in STEM education. Wonderful. So we are having a conversation around that and closing the gender gap. So that's what we'll be doing. That's 9:05. Well, I have Daisy Amabafo will be here from Generation Ghana. Right. Nana Dakon Asiedu from ALX Ghana will be here. Miriam Oklu will also be here. She's from the Ghana Society for Education Technology. And Opong Treme Daniel, he's president of the National Union of Ghana Students.
All right. In the meantime,
there's a new order of retirement that is right here. You can retire on your own terms with a guaranteed monthly income for the rest of your life. You simply invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan today and start receiving monthly income. And there is an increase, salary increase 16% in 2023-2024. Call Old Mutual 050-453-4333. Visit www.oldmutual.com.gh or simply dial *789*01# to request a call. Old Mutual, do great things every day. And now we have the energy-giving, great-tasting Lucozade having a new look, a sleeker, a slimmer. Lucozade original 330 ml can has the same energy that you've known for years. So grab one and have a great day. Lucozade, restore your energy.
Now, whatever it is you are doing, whether you are shopping for yourself, going to have a meal, or buying things for your home, the SG Visa card is your best option to make payments for goods and services online or anywhere with a POS machine. To find out more, call 0302214314. SG Ghana, the future is you. Now you want to enjoy your retirement. That's why Lakeside Estates exclusive retirement homes are tailored to help you find the perfect sanctuary to enjoy your golden years to the fullest. They've got 2, 3 and 4 bedroom homes developed in a great environment. They've got sporting complex, pharmacy, shopping mall, play areas and all of that. Remember that Lakeside is your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year, and they want to journey with you to securing your retirement lifetime home of comfort. Call them on 020-477-5042 or visit their website lakesideestate.com. Lakeside Estate, quality homes for all. Lakeside Hills, live your best life.
So avoid bad breath, tooth decay, gum disease. Brush your teeth every morning and night before you go to bed, and use the Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. It gives your teeth the protection it needs, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. It is fortified with pro-fluoride and micro-calcium ingredients. 10 times stronger teeth is what you get when you use the Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. We've been teaching people how to brush their teeth day and night for the past 25 years. Here's the number to call: 0800 2030. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
8:20. Kenneth Kumsen is the Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Federation of Labour, who are one of the 3 branches of organized labor comprising the Forum, the TUC, and the Ghana Federation. He's joining us to talk about the scourge of illegal, irresponsible mining as the month comes to an end. Mr. Kumsen, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you, Bernard.
I always confuse this. Is it a General Secretary or Secretary General?
Okay, so it is a Deputy Secretary General.
Wonderful. Now, so today is 30th September. Remind us of the resolve of organized labor when you issued that statement almost 12 days ago.
Okay, so thank you very much. Following the report of the Forestry Commission and the letter by the Ghana Water Company Limited, organized labor weighed into the campaign against irresponsible illegal mining that appears to desecrate our water body, destroy our fertile lands, and then cause all of us to be in essential threat. Now, on the 12th of September, organized labor convened a press conference where we issued clearly that if government by the end of 30th of September failed to respond to demands that were made, we have no other choice than to take an industrial action. Now, the demand that was placed for the purposes of our listeners is one that, considering that Article 31 is right in the Constitution, which provides that in the event where there is action of individuals or persons that appear to deprive the community of essentials of life, the president should invoke Article 31. Clearly, you and I are aware that with the pollution of our water body as recorded by the Ghana Water Company, the essential of life, which is water, is being polluted and poisoned, for which reason the president must activate 31. Now, following that, we also demanded that LI 2462 should also be revoked, because that LI specifically permitted or gave the president the power to approve licenses into the forest reserves. Now, following that, we have not seen any action by government. What that we had was the meeting on the 17th of September, clearly where government said they are giving us a week to respond to those demands. The week expired 24th of September. We haven't heard anything from government. So we wrote and invited all our members to assemble tomorrow at the TEC Hall, where we will take a decision as to whether we're going to embark on nationwide demonstration or strike. This is a matter that ought to be decided by the forum tomorrow.
How resolved is the organized labor in relation to maintaining your initial stance? Because a lot has happened since the initial press statement was released. We know there's a committee that has been set up. and I'm sure there have been a few things that have been done. Have you seen anything, at least from the GFL perspective, to convince you that the government is prepared to tackle this menace in any way?
Well, I think my guess or my comment may be as good as all Ghanaians. The question that exists is that do we think the government is committed at dealing with this matter? It's a question that everybody, I'm sure, has the answer. Personally, I think from the conduct, behavior, actions of government, it doesn't give any form of indication that government is committed at it. But what I want to say is that on the 17th, when we met with the ministerial committee, ad hoc committee, government admitted unequivocally that the issue has gotten out of hand, and that the suggestion or demands that we made as organized labor is the way to go. And for that matter, government is going to work at it. Now, what they also assured us was that they are unable to take an action immediately because other civil society organizations equally had some demands, and they needed to meet all of them. So we thought, okay, that's a good idea. The expiry date, as I said earlier, was 24th of September. We haven't heard anything from government. So clearly, it points to the fact that government is not committed at complying, or if you like, responding to the demands that we made. And for which reason we need to also ensure that we go strictly according to the demands that we made, which is to embark on a nationwide strike or demonstration. In fact, the purpose of tomorrow's meeting is not the question of whether or not we are going to take an action. The purpose of tomorrow's meeting essentially is to decide whether by virtue of what has happened and government reluctance are dealing with this matter, whether we are going on the path of strike or demonstration. That is essentially the agenda.
Now, before organized labor issued this, there were other groups. So we have the professional associations in the medical field, GMA, GRNA, and all these people issuing statements. We've also had UTAG and other groups within the universities also issue statements. Is organized labor working with these groups at all, or is this meeting between the three groups within organized labor? Because in a sense, you can consider UTAG also as a labor union, right? So just explain to me, when you say we, would this include, say, UTAG or TEU, for example?
Okay, so thank you very much. The organized labor structure is this. We have about 170 trade unions in the country, okay? And these are trade unions in the formal sector, informal sector, public sector, and then also private sector. 170 trade unions in the country. I won't be surprised if, as I'm speaking, there's been other certificates which have been issued to other trade groups. Now, this 170 trade unions across the country belongs to one of the centers of independence. The forum is made up of the nurses, the teachers, the GMA, Ghana Medical Association, UTAC, civil servants, and so on and so forth. The TUC also has about 18 trade unions, which includes the Mines Workers Union. There are several unions under the TUC. Then the Ghana Federation of Labour also has about 16 trade unions under it. Now, this is not the only trade union that exists under these well-organized labor centers. There are also independent trade unions that are not affiliated to either the TUC, the GFL, or the Forum. These bodies all come together to constitute what we call organized labor. So when there's an organized labor meeting, all these groups are represented. So for instance, tomorrow, UTAC will be there, GMA is expected to be there, and all the unions who have issued independent individual letters following the letters that was issued by organized labor, some of which even made those letters earlier or issued those statements earlier before organized labor joined the campaign. So when you say organized labor, it's all the trade unions in the country, whether they are the private sector, public sector, whether they are in companies, that's enterprise-based unions, or they are not enterprise-based unions. These are all the trade unions from different trade sectors that come together to constitute the organized labor. So tomorrow's forum is expected to, as much as possible, master or gather together all these groups for us to take a collective action to save Ghana. This is about life. This is about the safety of our life. This is about our existence and whether or not we would allow few greedy, evil men to pollute our water body, destroy our forest reserves. And then, listen, there's another dimension to this argument. The cocoa farms that are being decimated. There's a whole value chain to the industry. The cocoa value chain alone employs close to about 45,000. You can do the analysis. You can do the research. Then we have the oil palm value chain. Now, what you must understand is that wherever you have cocoa farm, you have oil palm trees. Now, when they destroy these farms, what it means is that all the oil palm plantation value chain is also getting destroyed. So you're talking about Ben, Soch, Propasso, and all of them, and where they supply the Wilmers, the Unilevers, and all the companies, both in the upstream and downstream, are all affected by the activities of these galamseers. So it is kind of a dangerous trend. And you look at the taxes that these well-structured companies pay to government, you have no idea. So what we are dealing with requires the president to act as a president. That is what it is. That is what it is.
Thank you. We'll be following your meeting with a lot of interest in the media, and we hope to hear from you tomorrow. Thank you.
Welcome.
Kenekumsin is the Deputy Secretary General. I think I got that right now.
General Secretary.
General?
No, it's a Secretary General.
No. Secretary General applies to the overall boss of the organized labor. General secretaries are the individual heads of the various units, almost.
Yeah.
No, yes.
So he just says Deputy Secretary.
No, he's not Secretary General. He's General Secretary.
Oh, I thought he just told me.
No. General Secretary is different from Secretary General.
I wasn't focusing.
No. Yeah, then maybe probably you were.
Yeah, so Secretary General is executive head.
Yeah, of the overall
yes.
umbrella body of organized labor in the country, which is.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So there are three. So there's GFL has a Secretary General, of which he's the deputy.
He's the General Secretary. Deputy.
Really?
Yes.
Then maybe I wasn't listening closely. Because I thought. Okay, so but TUC head is the Secretary General.
Yes, Secretary General, yes.
Doesn't he have a deputy?
Yes, he has his deputy. But he's not.
GFL is not TUC.
No, he's part of organized labor.
So there's no Secretary General of Organized Labor. The Secretary General of TUC.
Yes, that's
Secretary General of GFL. And Secretary General of the Forum. And this guy is the Deputy Secretary General
of the EFL.
Yes.
Secretary.
Yeah. I'm right.
I see. Okay.
Oxford wants to compete with Yeah, so I'm right. So yeah. So this is the point. So organized labor has come together. It's 175, very good education, just to understand the size of the advocacy. And I think that in a way the president has revived the fight by his
singular conduct.
Yeah, because Saturday was such a big occasion, and the GJ president was so clear, and the president was sat there live, and he just decided not to say anything. You know, it's almost called the bluff of the citizenry.
Yeah, you know,
and it's.
So I honestly think that the president missed an opportunity to have actually told the people of Ghana that, look, this matter has come to my attention, and what I have done is, first of all, to set up a committee. Which committee, even though many of us disagree with the setting up of the committee because we find it unhelpful, would give me some ideas as to what we should do going forward. It is not as though I have not, paid attention to what's happening. I'm committed to living by my word, and that I will act on it. And then subsequently this week, Parliament is reconvening sometime on the 5th of October. When you declare a state of emergency, the expectation is that Parliament would have to regularize the same, ratify it, and if there are some fresh laws,
Parliament in
exactly,
to then say that even if I declare, Parliament needs to help me or something.
Exactly, you understand. But by his body language, I mean, if you watch the videos that came out of the award ceremony, after the president of the GJ spoke, and the president found it like he was very uncomfortable sitting, like he was berating him. You cannot hear the words. Of course, lip readers can tell us what exactly he was saying, but by reason of his expression alone, it was as though he found it difficult to accommodate how the GGA president addressed
Maybe Caleb
the
will help us
gathering.
on Saturday.
So
he will read the lips of the president. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I think the president missed a huge opportunity, because what you need at this point is the collective voices of Ghanaians saying that move in a certain direction.
Do you think he realizes how monumental this Galamsey failure has been on him, and how what's the word I want to? How legacy defining it will become? Because Sky, if you're watching TV with your 9-year-old daughter and she keeps saying stop Galamsey, I'm sure she'll ask you, Daddy, why is the president doing anything about it? Because she would expect, even kids will expect that your leader will take action against something that everybody is saying is wrong. Does he realize? I don't know. I don't know if I'm not saying you should speak for him, but I don't know if he realizes how this is going to define him for the rest of his life. In a sense that his leadership, I think many Ghanaians will remember a president who decided not to act when the whole country, of course, unless phase 2 of the advocacy kicks in and maybe he's forced to. But I don't know if he realizes that this is going to be the Akufo-Addo people will remember.
You see, if he doesn't realize the urgency of the situation, then that is in itself failure of leadership. Because, of course, presidents are isolated in many respects. They sit in the presidency there and they rely on people around them to bring matters to their attention. Now, Mr. President, this matter is engaging public discourse. It's in the newspapers, it's on radio, it's on television. It's a matter that we think you need to do something about. So how do we deal with it? Oh, Mr. President, I think tomorrow we should take helicopter to the Western region. Or there's a ceremony that will go on there.
Use that ceremony to...
Exactly. Use that ceremony to speak to this particular matter. And if there is some declaration you make it there. We will do the legwork to ensure that all the media houses carry it. The story goes international. And then also directives will be issued subsequently to the national security to coordinate, affairs between the various security agencies to make sure it is done. So if the president doesn't have, as Godfrey said, that in tray saying that, this is a serious matter that requires attention, there would have been failure of the institution, the system around him. The system he's put in place to get information to him. And I don't believe that the people at national security are not sending that information.
So this is beyond a failure of his team. Maybe because yesterday he was sat there alone.
The Minister for Information was by him. Sorry.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is he was being spoken to directly by the GGA president. So it wasn't like it is reported in the news that we've said this and therefore don't give the paper to him. He's sitting there and the man is telling him in his face that bro, you are failing.
Yeah, you see,
and he didn't answer. He didn't mind anything.
No, so I think at this point it would be useful actually to call up the GGA president to tell us what may well have been the conversation between him and the president. Because at that point, maybe the president felt that, but you invited me here to come and blast me. Most likely what he would have said, that, but you think you are president, state of emergency. Main declare state of one yesterday young but
you don't put words in the mouth.
But honestly, look, this is something that people have been telling the president quietly for some time now. That it is a problem. But it seems the people around him are not alive to the duties that they should hold dear to themselves, the country, and the president of the republic. Because, as you have said, and I said it here before, that this whole thing would define the presidency of Nana Addo. If he had failed at everything else and yet completed one big promise he made to all of us, that look, I'll put my presidency on the line. Now that, no leader says that lightly. It means you have thought through the matter, you have reviewed it thoroughly, you've thrown issues at each other, and you have come to a realization after sleeping on your pillow that this is a matter I have to take a legacy defining decision on, regardless of what the outcome will be, electorally or whatever uprising there may be against my presidency.
It means he didn't mean it.
It's so.
If the chronology of Godfred is correct, that after the 2020 and then the
2017 declaration,
2017 declaration, there were elections that were held in the midterm, and then there was the 2020 election, and the outcome of that election
they were walloped.
seemed to have. But you see, that's the point. If you say you will put your presidency on the line, parliamentary defeat is less than your presidency. Losing a few DC or MC positions or whatever position in the local assembly should not be the same. It's less significant than because the presidency is the ultimate. So if you say you will put it on the line, you can't tell me that election 2024 or what happened in parliament in 2020 is enough, or that because people are politicizing it, therefore you don't do it. Because you've already, by saying you put the presidency on the line, you have already thought about the political consequence of the decision, which means you already know it's a politically defining decision.
That's right.
So it has no excuse. That's the point. There's no reasonable excuse to say, well, I thought I was going to solve it by, for example, you could say, I wanted to do voting for MMDCs, but I did that on the assumption that NDC will support it because we need 2/3. When it got to the point NDC said they won't support it, I had to withdraw it. That you can understand, because there are certain things you cannot do without 75% votes in parliament. But if you say you put your presidency on the line, you have counted the cost of the decision.
Yes.
Which means you know the true shape of the decision,
That's right.
and you know that it could let you lose your presidency. So it just means that what you say, you don't mean it. Now, if you see leadership at that level, if you say something of that magnitude, which you don't mean, what else are you saying that we shouldn't take seriously?
I see, that's the problem.
Do you get it? So I'm saying that if he doesn't know, the people around don't know, in the eyes of many, this is defining who the man is.
Yeah.
And yesterday, or Saturday, why did you have seen yesterday? As he sat there and the president of GJ was speaking, and he didn't even blink. He was actually not even looking at the guy.
Great speech.
It will stay in my mind for a very long time.
You see,
I'm telling you, and for me, you see, sometimes people wonder what posterity does, and they don't know what they did that contributed to what posterity will do. And for me, the future of this country, a lot of things will be said negatively about this president if he doesn't act on this issue.
Yeah, that's as simple.
For many years.
It's as simple as
for
that.
many years, because he has no excuse. There's no place to hide.
Yep.
If he doesn't do it, it defines who he is, and it's surprising. I'll tell you something. There are people who do very well in their fields. One moment defines them, right? Positively or negatively. So for Muhammad Ali, it was that comeback against George Foreman, all right, Rumble in the Jungle. After all the punishment he took, 3 seconds. In many people's view, that was what made him the greatest.
No, in Muhammad Ali's case, it was his refusal to be drafted.
Not going to Vietnam.
From a boxing perspective, not from his iconic perspective. Be that as it may, there's always a moment that can influence negatively or positively somebody's presidential or whatever career. You're a sports journalist. In football, there are many footballers who, one thing they did, in the eyes of many Ghanaians, Luis Suarez, Asamoah, the penalty miss. Asamoah has scored the most goals for Ghana. But that thing will eat him up for a long time. Galamsey has become that to this president. Right? Because it's going to get bigger the more he decides not to act. Because now, you see, and listen to TUC carefully, he said, for us, when we read the letter of the Ghana Water Company,
they were alarmed.
And then the report. So now they are not just saying we've heard people shouting, we also want to shout. Ghana Water Company doesn't shout a lot. Right? So now when your drinking water comes to a point where
you find all kinds of impurities.
You are poisoning people's water and you claim that there's need for livelihood into win an election. Honestly speaking, you have failed as a leader.
You see, the Searchlight actually called the president out properly today when it exposed the fact that the president, while in New York, was signing another international treaty, which treaty would signal our position on how to protect the environment and also future generations. Back home, we are told that over 60% of our water bodies have been polluted. And the numbers that Mr. Kunson gave us suggest that so many jobs are on the line, have either been wiped out already or are in the process of being wiped out. So if you have a president that is taking international posture that suits him, that makes him look good in the eyes of the international community, one would expect that, he will back that posturing with local action to ensure that what he's doing locally is consistent with his international, approach to things. But you have the power. You have the men and women of the military at your disposal. Yep. The police service at your disposal. National security men around the country. All you have got to do is to make that declaration and move them to deal with the problem.
And you know something.
Now, before you come in, while we are waiting for all of that to happen, then you have a member of parliament who needs to know better. Who needs to know better? Who ought to know better? Come out to say a completely outlandish thing. Look, let us not politicize this Galamsey matter. As I said here some time ago, it's been with us for some time. But to suggest, without any evidence, that, it is the opposition people who have imported people into the country. Well, we hear the people speaking local languages. We hear the people say that they are from this community.
Yeah, there's been a video of a guy.
They mention
the president's name.
I mean, you cannot, on the face of all that evidence, make
He's basically defying the president.
I mean,
and doing a video
exactly
from a location that can easily be traced.
Yes, some SHS kids said something about the president. They were rounded up. Yeah. We caught them, but these guys, we don't seem to have the power to grab them.
Know where they are.
Yeah. So if you are in a leadership position, if you don't want to do anything about it, don't say anything about it. But when you go on the record, Honorable Efriye, I think you should go back. Examine your own statement in the face of the collective dangers we face as a nation. The fact that soon IVF would have to be importing it. The fact that soon we are told by 2030 we would have to import water for our usage in this country. The fact that our communities no longer have places for them to go and farm. Now, a wise man once said that, look, when we have finished killing all the trees, we have finished killing all the animals, we have finished destroying all the river bodies around, that is when we would realize that, look, as for gold or whatever it is we are digging from the belly of the earth, we cannot eat it.
But you're going to make a quick intervention.
No, I was just checking. Dr. Efriye has a master's in public health.
Oh, he's an environmental, he has some...
Do you have the audio?
We don't have to play the audio. I mean, he knows what he
said. What did he say?
What he said was irresponsible.
Yes.
But the point I was even going to make is, interestingly, the economic case has been made for this by those who defend it. This whole illegal mining enterprise. Now, how key gold is to the economy. Guess what else is key to Ghana's economy? Cocoa. Now, on the 30th of December this year, comes into force the EU's deforestation regulation, which requires anybody wishing to buy cocoa beans to prove they have not been sourced from land that is deforested or degraded since 2021. Is cocoa not important to the economy of this country? Is cocoa not important? So, on one hand, gold means so much to the economy of Ghana. So let's protect them. Let's destroy cocoa to get gold.
Let's destroy our forests.
You see where the problem lies.
There's no logical
argument for this.
From the position of the government on this matter.
On this matter, you don't win. They don't win on any angle, whichever way you look at it. Outside the political arena of votes, there is no advantage to this. There is no advantage to this.
Tell me where you're gonna run go. Two things to remind you about the 4th edition of the Ghana Digital Innovation Week is on the 2nd to the 4th of October on the theme Innovate Together, Collaborating for Digital Transformation and Impact. It's at Accra International Conference Center. From students to startups, tech enthusiasts to policymakers, this is your conference. Visit gdiw.com.gh for more information.
Now, if you're thinking of going to school, Heritage Christian University College is the option for you. They provide a missing link in tertiary education. They are very heavy on entrepreneurship, technology, and they give practical learning with professional certification. They are at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium, accredited by GTech, affiliated to KNUST and UCC. Call them on 0547 777 or visit their website hcuc.edu.gh. Heritage Christian University College, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. And there's a new exciting chocolate beverage out there on the market. It's called Twisco. It's from the producers of Cowbell. It's made from premium cocoa powder and enriched with NF4. Start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco. Empower your dream. This ad is FDA approved. If you are thinking of building, Diamond Cement is here. They've got two types: the 42.5 hour grade, which is the highest quality cement on the Ghanaian market, and the 32.5 hour grade, which is the more affordable variant. Call them on 0244 313 and find them nationwide in Aplau, Takrady, and Buipe. Diamond Cement, still hard as a diamond.
Meanwhile, CFO Mobility is Ghana's premier one-stop shop for all your mobility needs. As the exclusive distributor of brands like Mercedes-Benz, Mitsubishi, and Suzuki. We've been meeting Ghana's automotive needs for the past 115 years. Now, whether you're looking for a luxury sedan, a rugged SUV, or a truck or a bus, or even industrial equipment, we've got the right fit for you. We offer flexible financing options to make your vehicle ownership journey smooth and affordable. Call us on 0302 742 100 or 0302 742 090.
Now, we have high quality mattresses and furniture crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. So if you're thinking of quality mattress and great furniture that's crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind, think Latex Foam. We are your partner for life. Call us on 0302 231 155 or 0302 008499. Visit us online www.latexfoam.com.gh. We have showrooms across the country. Bye. And then also, if you're thinking of programs you can study abroad that will land you a job, particularly in Canada, be part of the best education services because they are bringing you an exclusive Study in Canada Fair. This is happening on Monday 14th to Tuesday 15th October this year. It's happening in Accra at the Accra City Hotel on these dates. In Kumasi, it will be happening on the 16th. That is at the Lancaster Hotel in Kumasi. We have 17 top Canadian institutions with programs in bachelor's, master's. They'll be present to assist you choose the program you want. So you must come to this event with your WASI results. If you're yet to write, you can still come. If you're currently at the University of Polytechnic and you want to transfer to Canada, you can come as well. If you have a diploma or HND pass by, bachelor's degree holders looking for a master's program should also do same. It's an event that is free, but to register, call or WhatsApp 025 624 5006. Best Education Study in Canada Fair 2024 is your ticket to success.
Now, the 30th of September, which is today, is the last working day of the month, and it's also the day on which the GRA is telling everybody who will have to file the communication tax service return that today is the final day. If you do not file, you are attracting a penalty of 2,000 cedis and a further penalty of 500 cedis for each day the return is not submitted. Speak to the GRA via email on info@gra.gov.gh or send them a WhatsApp message 059 299 0000.
You need to download and open the Breeze app. It has a personal shopper option there, so you can relax in the comfort of your home, write a list, add the items you wanted, where you want it from, whether shop, market, restaurant. Within this app, a shopper will go to wherever you've sent the person, take pictures, attach the prices, you confirm, and the shopper will pay and bring all the items to your home while you relax. So avoid the stress, traffic, and all that. Let your personal shopper do that for you on the Breeze app. Download it on Google Play Store and App Store and enjoy.
Later in this morning, EdTech Monday, we're looking at the gender dimension of EdTech. Nathan Kwa has a very exciting panel, Gender Quality in STEM Education, closing these gender gaps. Don't forget, it's brought to you by the Meltwater Entrepreneurial School of Technology, of course funded by the MasterCard Foundation. Citi FM as a key sponsor or partner. Some of the panel members include
Daisy Ama Bafo, Nana Dakon Esiedu, Miriam Oklu, and Daniel Opon Treme.
A couple of quick birthday requests before we turn our attention.
Yes. We need to get to the University of Ghana.
Yes.
You are a big ambassador of the University of Ghana. Today's the birthday of the VC.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Hey.
Yes. Professor Nana Abba
Apia Amfo.
Oh my goodness.
So she's the chairman of my search committee.
Your search committee?
Yes, the search for a bride for Caleb.
This was what was happening.
When you are not that's it they did to me.
She is leading the search.
For me, I like the VC for a number of reasons. She's in a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Oh yes.
She's opened up the university. The university's been doing well on its own.
Yeah.
For somebody who's a linguist, linguistics is a course. Before I entered university, I never heard of linguistics, but my sister studied linguistics, right?
Oh, okay.
And one of the people I respect the most in this world, Noam Chomsky.
Yes, he's a linguist, but he's a brilliant thinker.
Professor Kwesi Yanka is also a linguistics
Professor Sam.
So apparently, the structure of language and the way languages evolve, those are the things they learn. And I think it's brought a lot of those competencies to bear on the way.
So happy birthday from all of us on the Citi Breakfast Show.
Apia Amfo.
Have a fantastic birthday.
Proper Hobson.
Happy birthday celebration.
Yes.
From your favorite radio station. And a glorious 70th birthday to Madam Colina Amwa, a veteran broadcaster, author, and personal listener of Citi FM, coming from Samachuku and the Sapara Grand family. Today is my wife's birthday. She's Ramatu Na You don't add your name. Okay, you said tell her the kids and I wish her happy birthday and pray that God perfects everything about her life. I'm not sure if I saw the name, but I'm sure Ramatu Dua knows that her husband is wishing happy birthday. Wishing my daughter DeAndre Ava Owahini Ofebohini a happy 4th birthday. We pray for the Lord's continuous blessing and guidance. Daddy and mommy love you so much. And Mr. William Wanompe is wishing his son Steve a happy birthday. May the Lord bless and keep him, make his face shine upon him. And
Steve is not performing. He's not performing. He should bring me my bread.
Non-performance.
His non-performance, the bread. That will cost him.
Is it the bread shop near to where you are? They move.
Because Saleh, today being his birthday, I would have performed, but he's not performing. So please, you should be advised. One up, please tell your young man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. But let me also just use the opportunity quickly to wish happy birthday to Madame Irene Toshi of the District Assembly's Common Fund. Big woman, former deputy, is the ambassador to the US. Toshi. Strong woman, former deputy chief whip or former chief whip.
So today is the 30th of September, right?
Yes.
So it's a birthday with a number of interesting people.
This one is happy birthday to Yao Kwating. He's a real estate broker and one of our ardent listeners. So happy birthday to you.
Baloski, why are you refusing to acknowledge me?
You.
Charlie.
No. Listen. We can only talk about what we have proved.
Come on.
And I think Godfred has proved.
Come on.
Last 2 weeks we were talking about phones. And we said that there was a phone number that if you sent your old Samsung and did a little top up, they'll give you a new flip. I mean, this is the nicest thing of beauty I've seen. What are the features?
Charlie,
I am still working on it.
Is the flip Samsung?
Yeah, this is the Z Fold 6.
Wow.
But I want to be able to. You and I will do something on your phone. We'll do Samsung. We will leave these people alone, and then you and I will do Samsung to Samsung. It is Sky. Go and do your thing. Sky, go. Play music.
This is our government collapse. You know.
Play music.
You play music.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Get ready for the 4th edition of the Ghana Digital and Innovation Week. It is another year to celebrate milestones in Bay together, collaborating for digital transformation and impact. Join the GDIW in shaping the future of digital innovation on the 2nd to 4th October 2024 at the Accra International Conference Center. Meanwhile, if you're in these 6 regions, Northern, Upper West, Ashanti, Bono East, Eastern and Western region, GDIW train will stop at your end from 3rd to 19th September. Visit gdiw.com.gh. Register to book your seats for free. Let's collaborate for a digital Ghana. Be part of this change. Be part of the future.
Are you hoping to start university this October? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and up to 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless possibilities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our 2024 intakes. Apply now for our foundation and undergraduate programs. For more information, contact us at +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
This is a special security announcement. Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar proofing, announces big discounts on all sliding security barriers, roller shutters, and clear guards to protect homes and offices from criminals. Trelidor is fighting rising prices by offering big savings and lower prices. Be safe, secure your premises. Google Trelidor or call 0561 24 24 24. Trelidor, Africa's strongest burglar proofing.
Hey, my friend, let us walk quickly and get away from this dog. Oh.
Indeed, we should. Amadu's dog can be wild sometimes. You know what? It is safer to walk away from it.
Hey, this dog won't stop barking at us. Oh. It's even getting closer. Who knows if it has rabies or not? That dangerous disease.
Wait, gentlemen. Our dog is in chains and would not come near you. My husband ensures Bingo, our dog, is vaccinated annually to prevent rabies.
Rabies is a disease that can cause severe illness and death among animals and humans. Rabies is spread through the saliva of a dog or a cat that has the rabies virus when that animal bites or scratches someone or another animal. Vaccinate your dogs and cats every year to protect them from rabies and keep them healthy. Remember, no bites, no scratch, no rabies. Vaccinate your dogs and cats every year. For further information, please contact your nearest health facility. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service, Veterinary Services, USAID, and partners.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Welcome to the September edition of EdTech Mondays, live on the Citi Breakfast Show on Citi 97.3 FM. We are also live on Mest Africa's Facebook page and Citi FM's Facebook page as well. My name is Nathan Kwao, your moderator for the session. Now, EdTech Monday is a platform for EdTech entrepreneurs, education stakeholders, and government reps to facilitate critical conversations on the use of technology for teaching and learning. It's an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation's Regional Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning and part of the Foundation's strategy to find solutions to Africa's youth employment by closing the gap in access to quality education and advancing the integration of tech in education policies across Africa. That's why we do this on the last Monday of every month, and we are live on the Citi Breakfast Show. You can also watch us live on social via Citi FM's Facebook page or West Africa's Facebook page. This month we are talking gender equality in STEM education, closing the gender gap. Now, STEM, which is science, tech, engineering, and math education, is critical to developing the skills needed for the future workforce. And in Ghana and in many other parts of the world, the gender gap in STEM fields still remains significant. Fewer girls and fewer women are in the space, as well as vulnerable people who are pursuing careers. So we'll hear from young entrepreneurs today who have used EdTech to start their businesses. We'll hear some professionals using tech to nurture and mentor the next generation of innovators. And these people are closing the gap by providing the tools and resources and mentorship they need to succeed. You can join in your thoughts and comments by joining the conversation. By bringing in your thoughts and comments on the number 0549-986-996. 0549-986-996. Let me introduce my guests for the morning. I've got Daisy Amabafo is a learner engagement program manager at Generation Ghana. Daisy, good morning. How are you doing? All right. And I've got Nana Dakonsedu, country manager for ALX Ghana. Nana, how are you doing?
Doing very well, Nathan.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again. When did we meet? Last week? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yes. I've got Miriam Oklu. Miriam Oklu is Associate Monitoring, Evaluation and Learning Officer at the Ghana Society for Education Technology. Miriam, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Nathan.
Right. And our final guest is not here, Tremor Upon Daniel. He's president of the National Union of Ghana Students. He will join us in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. Welcome to EdTech Monday.
Good morning, Nathan, and good morning to your listeners.
Okay. I'll be in about a minute. Can you just tell us what you mean? Let me start off with you. You work with the Ghana Society for Education Technology. What exactly do you do in your role? Associate Monitoring, Evaluation and Learning Officer. So just tell us in a few seconds what you do in your position.
Right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Once again, my name is Miriam Oklu and I work with the Ghana Society for Education Technology as the Associate Monitoring, Evaluation and Learning Officer. So GSET is a community of educators, innovators that are working together to improve innovation and technology and their use in education. So what I do at GSET, mainly my role entails working with the main monitoring and evaluation learning officer, where we gather data on the use of technology in the classroom. So our recent project was on education technology and then how teachers are able to implement technology in education. So we gather data to be able to see where teachers are currently in the use of technology in education.
I see.
So mainly that is what I do at GSET.
I see. Daisy, you're with Generation Ghana. What do you do in your role? You're Learner Engagement Program Manager. Such a huge title.
No, it sounds like a lot of words. Okay. Good morning to our dear listeners. My name is Daisy Amabafo. I'm the, like you mentioned, Learner Engagement Program Manager at Generation Ghana. And what Generation Ghana does is that we currently recruit and train young adults who are currently unemployed. We give them trainings in 4 different tech professions. This is web development, digital marketing, digital customer service, and data analysts. We provide these trainings for them fully funded by kind courtesy of the MasterCard Foundation.
That's wonderful.
Once their trainings are completed, we place them into entry-level roles here in Ghana with local and international organizations.
I see. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Nana, you're a country manager for ALX Ghana. What does your role entail? It sounds like a huge role, country manager. So you're managing the whole of Ghana.
Yeah, I'm managing the whole of Ghana, but I do that with the help of the team. So what I basically do is to supervise the operations of what the team does. So ALX is focused on youth empowerment, and we're doing this through tech courses. We've been in Ghana since 2022, but then scaled our operations in 2023, where from then to date, about 75,000 Ghanaian youth have gone through our various programs. And we have tech courses. Like she mentioned, we also work in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. And we run programs in data science, data analyst, software engineering. These are very tech-heavy courses.
Yeah.
And we're doing this because of the opportunities that we've seen, both locally and globally, the interest and also career opportunities when it comes to the tech field. We're not able to fill it, but there's unemployment in the country. So now we're empowering people to look beyond the country. And you don't. There's an arch where you don't need to just outside.
Yes, true. To get a job outside.
Exactly.
I see.
We're focused on empowering youth by offering them in-demand tech courses, and that's what we've been doing.
Wonderful, great stuff. It's a pleasure having all of you here. Daisy, let me start off with you. Let's talk about the current state of STEM education in Ghana, particularly for young girls.
Yes. So let me start by talking about some global stats, and then we can narrow it down to Ghana just to give some perspective. Currently, on a global scale, if we look at all the STEM roles that exist, there's only, about 25%, 28 to 30% of those roles that are occupied by women, and this on a global scale. Even at that level, it's not very, very encouraging. Yeah. But when you come down to Ghana, it's not any different. The same stats, probably slightly lower, exist here in Ghana. So if you look at careers or roles here in Ghana around mathematics, engineering, science, all of those, there's only about 25%. So in Ghana, comparing to the global matrix, Ghana is, we have a shortfall of about 3 to 5% out of that global percentage that we're looking at. So in Ghana, as it stands today, there's only about 25% of the tech roles that are being occupied by women. And this is both, old and young. And that is woefully inadequate if you look at the potential that actually exists for women, for women to be able to take advantage of something like tech. I wouldn't, in as much as this sounds very discouraging and all that, I would say that we've actually made very significant strides.
Okay.
Situations were much worse, 10 years ago. It was much worse. But, by the interventions of the private sector, civil society organizations, government, international NGOs, and several other players in the system, we have been able to make some progress. But I think that the charge now is that there is still a whole lot more that needs to be done. And I guess that's the reason why organizations such as Generation, ALX, and several others exist.
I see. Wonderful. Miriam, let me bring you in. Why is this the case? Why do you think there are fewer girls involved in STEM as compared to boys, and how is this gap heightened in our environment or in our context as Ghana?
Okay, so I would like to start by saying that currently there are many more girls in the classroom as compared to the past.
That's true.
In the past, you would hardly find a girl in a classroom, and as much as there are lots of girls in the classroom now, just like Daisy said, there's still a gap that is existing with girls in STEM courses and then STEM roles. And one of the things that I would say is a cause to this will be that there are gender stereotypes right from childhood. So, for instance, let's say you go to a typical Ghanaian home, and then, for instance, there are twin children, one a girl and then one a boy. Now, the parent is buying toys for the boy or for the girl. Then we buy utensils for the little girl. And then we buy the stethoscopes and then the Legos and then all of those things for the boys. So as at that young age, you find them being psyched to a certain mentality that, okay, STEM courses are not for me. I'm supposed to go into things like sewing, like cooking, all of those things. And then now, fast forward, they go into their schools, and then you realize that most of their teachers, for instance, science teachers, you see that there's a guy who is a science teacher. Physics is a guy who is a science teacher. And so, as at that age, the girl is thinking that, okay, why is it that there are lots of men and there are lots of guys in this roles? Probably it's because it's difficult or something. And then the way these courses are taught. So when I was growing up, I learned, as I was learning, I felt like mathematics was difficult because the way it's being taught, and everybody's like, okay, math is for the boys, the science is for the boys. So as at that age, you see that you grow up with all of these mentalities in your head, and then even in our textbooks, you don't even see gender representations, female representations in our books. The mathematicians are the men, the scientists are the men, the engineers are the men. So all of these things are contributing factors. And even in our communities, you find that, okay, when a child is growing up, they are always pushing the child in the female child in the direction of those female courses that they think that they will be able to do, the arts, the languages, and then all of those things.
True. Wonderful. Let's proceed. Now let me bring you in. Let's talk about tech or edtech and how it supports learning in STEM, especially for girls.
So when I think of, just to add to the
yes, of course,
I think it's not just a Ghanaian problem, right? If you look at the stats, she highlighted on that below 30% of females or women are in STEM programs. And this is deep down a social cultural problem, right? Right from our societies, men or boys are encouraged to go for the more difficult things, while the ladies, and as they grow up, the divide becomes even worse when they go into their like the high school, the university. You look at a typical STEM program and it's male dominated. So then the female feel left out if the men are not encouraging the female to continue to pursue it. And after year one, if they have the chance, they'll switch into the other programs. But back to your question about EdTech. EdTech provides us the platform that now you don't have to be physically seated in a classroom, which was one of the barriers which we identified in the education sector, that when ladies find out that, or women find out that they are seated next to men and stuff, they're intimidated, right? They would love to have that gender balance where they can also see, okay, there are more female in the classroom.
Of course. The more women they are, the more comfortable they are.
With EdTech, now female there's not a presence, although they know the men are in the classroom, there's not that presence because some of the courses are done online. So that's one of the things. And secondly, there are more female mentors now coming into the EdTech space. There is a research that shows that psychologically, if you place women in front of STEM courses, and you highlighted on this, if we made more of their science teachers, their math teachers male, they will be encouraged to go into it. But seeing this from childhood where it's male dominated, there's that idea to go into the arts or the other fields. But now with EdTech, we're having more female come out as mentors, as facilitators, and this is helping the females to also see that, okay, this is a field that I can pursue in, and that's what is helping us bridge the gap now.
I see. I was going to ask you about success stories of EdTech platforms, and Daisy, you can also answer on that. Success stories of EdTech platforms or programs that have helped to bridge the gender gap. You laid the foundation, talking about the fact that now you have more virtual programs online. There's no physical classroom to put people off and things. What other success stories can you share in terms of EdTech platforms that have helped to bridge the gender gap in STEM?
So let me focus on an EdTech program that I attended about 2 months ago. Was organized by Junior Achievers. I think I got their name right.
Yes, Junior Achievers Ghana.
Junior Achievers Ghana, exactly. They held a business pitch competition, and I was there, saw all the projects that were done by. So it had a blend of all male school, all female school, and then unisex school. So at the end, I was definitely rooting for the all female school student. I'm a girl dad. Definitely challenging my daughter to go into STEM when she grows up. I will not be like the typical African parent that said, it's by force. But I encourage you because of the opportunities that I've seen in STEM, especially in software engineering and all of these techie courses. So definitely I would encourage it. But back to the point, at JA, I was rooting for the girls, and then I was surprised. Not just
the all-girls team.
Not just the all-girls team winning, but the first place, the first run-up, and the second run-up were all-girls team.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful.
The initiatives that they came up with during the event, you could see they challenged the guys, right? Or I wouldn't even say they didn't see the guys as a different set. They challenged and came for the competition. And then also to touch on one of the programs that we do at ALX, our software engineering program, after the first year of running it, we noticed, very skewed to the data that she mentioned, just 32% of our participants were female. And they were even dropping off. So 32 was what they started with. I'm not going to mention the number that ends with, right? But then the guys were consistently going into the thing. So 2 initiatives that we came up with in that program is we launched an all-girls software engineering cohort 2 times, just to make sure that we're bridging the gap. So when we opened the applications, not to say the guys, you could look forward to another application, but this was just dedicated for females. We did that for 2 years, for two application rounds. And then secondly, now we're encouraging the men or the boys in the program to let it feel a community. It shouldn't be a male-dominated community. So what I've noticed is when we're having events, we're inviting the ladies to speak more. We're inviting the ladies to moderate these sessions. And that has helped us bridge the gap from the 32 that we're experiencing to more closer to 40, 45 where we are now.
Daisy?
Yeah, I think, when we look at success stories, I think there's so many organizations that have, came before us, the past decade or so. But currently, I'll just highlight a few. I would say, MEST has always been, for a very long time, been championing tech education. But there's also organizations like the Talo Ghana's STEM program, which is actually, I think it's a great idea, focuses on rural Ghana. That is also one. There's also organizations like STEM Bees. There are so many others that have done incredible work in the past decade or so. I would also use the opportunity to highlight some of Generation's own success stories. We also started off with, we have always started off knowing that we're targeting minimum of about 70% women.
Okay.
That has been our target. Wow. And it in the initial stages, it was difficult, especially if you're recruiting for a profession like web development. The applications coming from the men were, way over the roof. But it had to take a very conscious effort to try and bring in as many women as possible. So we were deliberate about that, filling every cohort with at least 70%. But we have seen gradually over the years, we have seen that number rise steadily. And so it's no longer such a hassle trying to fill a cohort with 70% women. But it was very difficult at the very start. But also in Kumasi, for example, some of our programs there, digital marketing, that is targeted purely for women.
Okay.
But the funny thing, we advertise it as purely women,
and then you have
a lot of men still apply.
I see.
But yeah, these are some of the successes we've seen so far. There's an organization I would like to highlight is the G-Step.
Yeah, I was going to highlight
that. Which
yeah.
I think has done. I mean, they are doing something phenomenal with their prize. Events, but let's also not forget our very own the National Science and Maths Quiz program. If I look back my own time in secondary school, looking at the number of ladies who used to be on, as contestants, comparing that to now.
Yeah, now we have
a lot more women, being on that program too. So these are some of the stories.
If I could touch on the last point that she made, one thing that I noticed during the science and maths quizzes, I think people draw closer when they have a female participant among. And I remember 2 years ago we had this lady that is,
Francisca. I think she's gone to medical school now. Harvard.
The whole country was rooting for her, right? Yes. And that shows the passion that we want to develop, not just as individuals. The whole country wants to see more development when it comes to gender equality and then STEM as well. But good point on G-Step program that they're running. And also to say that 2 years ago, I don't think they ran it last year. I think 2 years ago when they ran, it was also won by an all-female team. So not that they're being intentional, but I think if we gave the female more opportunities, they would bridge the gap. It's now that all these organizations are coming together and highlighting the importance of this. So we'd see more of that. Globally, like she mentioned, 30%. But with the intentionality that the Ghanaian program or the Ghanaian education system is putting into gender equality and then STEM, I'm sure we'll probably be one of the first countries to bridge the gap when it comes to gender equality in STEM.
I see. Wonderful stuff. Miriam, we've heard a lot of the success stories. So what can we do? Schools, government, private sector, how can they all collaborate to ensure that you have more girls taking part in STEM education?
Yes, so on the school level, I would say that the school should be more intentional on some of the programs that they put across there. So for maybe some of the STEM programs, they should be more directed at females, and then there should be more clubs that are female oriented, so that these girls will be able to get into these clubs. And then also I would also like to say that on the school level, the teachers are usually the role models and then the mentors of the students. So as a teacher, you should put yourself there so that your students should be able to be encouraged, your female students should be able to encourage to go into STEM. Share more opportunities that are STEM wise to them, so that they see that, okay, these are not difficult things that are too far away from females, and then they can do that. And then on the government level too, I would say that as much as we are pushing for the schools to do their part, we would also say that there should be more funding and then resources on the parts of government. So one thing that I'm very excited about is that currently I see that there are lots of STEM centers that are being put up, and then fully furnished STEM centers for schools as well. So if the government could continue on this and then push more funding into these STEM areas that are directed at females, I think that is a push in the right direction. And then also from private sectors, there should be more mentorship programs. We should highlight more female STEM mentors that will be available to mentor these young ones that are coming up, so that they know the directions that they want to go into. So those are the few insights I will share on that.
Now, let me stay with you. Earlier, when you were making your point about when we're laying the groundwork and we highlighted socialization, you made the point about parents buying cooking utensils for their daughters, and they'll buy Lego and stuff for their sons. What can parents do in terms of shaping girls' perceptions and their aspirations towards STEM careers?
So as a parent, please stop buying it.
That's the first thing.
Yes, exactly. And myself, growing up, my family has been very supportive. I came from a computer science background. So my dad and my uncle, so they were very supportive. So when I was growing up, I remember my dad got me a desktop computer where I learned how to type and then all of that. And then going to the uni too, they were pushing me to IT. So as a parent, you should be very supportive of your child. Make sure you put these opportunities in front of them, so that they will be able to know that, okay, STEM is not so difficult as we've all put across. And then as a parent too, you should be ready to invest, because STEM is not cheap. So for instance, if you want your child to go into tech, you should be ready to pay for the courses that she will go into, the laptop and then all of those things, the STEM kids. So we should encourage our children more, so that they could go into STEM courses and then STEM roles.
Wonderful. Nana, let me get your thoughts on the actionable steps that we should take now to ensure that we create a more inclusive environment, especially for girls, when we talk about STEM education.
So a couple of things that she began with that we could build on that, right? So it starts with the culture that we have at the home.
The socialization.
Exactly, right? What are we highlighting to the young people at a very young age? One actionable thing that we can do is, now there are STEM kits that she mentioned. There are all these easy to fix toys, easy to fix things that you can build to start forming that idea of science, technology, engineering, all of these things. So I encourage parents, they are out there. We're not going to mention any shop, but then they're out there. You could go out there.
Can't do free ads.
Exactly. Challenge your kids at this point. And the easy ones that you could even use are the Legos, right? Try to get them to build these things, what you could build. Set a picture for them, have them build it. So these are the foundational things that we can do at home. Then for the government, they're already putting a lot of effort into these things. What I would encourage is the private-public partnership, which has been a challenge for us. I don't know about generation, but we go into these public institutions trying to introduce them to STEM because we have experience in it, and the bureaucracy that goes around, forming partnership with them. So if it could be more flexible when it comes to forming partnership with the public sector, that would also be helped. That's also another thing to consider. And then one easy thing that we all do not notice is when it comes to advertisement of STEM, right? It's always the men that are at the front. So we at ALX, what we've taken as a key thing is when we're driving advertisements around STEM courses, we always prefer to use ladies, because the female, when they see that another female is doing it, they are challenged to say, okay, I could also do it. But then when already there's a barrier to say, okay, this is a men's world, then you're already challenging them to go more into, okay, then STEM is not for me. So that's also something that organizations that are into STEM could consider. I'll just highlight these 3 things,
Okay.
but there's more, and I'm sure.
I don't know if somebody wants to add anything.
Yes, so
Yes.
there's one thing he spoke about. There's this advert I like a lot, soft care advert. I don't know if you've seen it, where the little girl is being pushed to go into the kitchen, I think something like that, and then she wants to be an engineer. I can. So I think that is also a step in the right direction. When we put out such sensitization out there, we make our parents aware that, okay, STEM is here to stay, and it's something that I should push my girl child more into.
Yeah, and just to add, this is something that we've spoken about, right? The more you put females out there, then at the young level, they're seeing that there are people there that are into the STEM courses. So we know there are people that want to get into mentoring, into volunteering when it comes to the STEM, and they're looking for opportunities. Organizations like ourselves, Generation Mess, are always out there looking for volunteers. It's an actionable item that people listening could reach out to any of these organizations and say, I want to volunteer for STEM, and then more focus will be on supporting females, because the more they see success stories of successful people in STEM, they would also be challenged to get into that program.
Okay, Daisy, do you want to add something?
I mean, just to follow up on that, I would speak about role modeling. So, for example, if we're looking for women in engineering, for example, to speak on issues or to speak to young people, to speak to students, we need more and more of the few women that are already in these spaces to speak up, be present in some of these community events, just so that the young children, the young ladies can see themselves in, because once you see yourself in somebody or in a profession, it makes it attractive for you to also want to pursue, to find out more, and it makes you curious. So that's just what I would add to that.
Great thoughts from my guest. This is still EdTech Monday, the September edition, and you're listening to us live on Citi 97.3 FM. EdTech Monday is a lovely collaboration between the MasterCard Foundation and Mest Africa. And of course, Citi FM, we are proud to be media partners, offering a platform for these great conversations to be had on the last Monday of every month. Our topic for this morning: gender equality in STEM education, closing the gender gap. My guests are not done, they are still here, but let me just remind you, if you just tuned in and you're wondering what we are doing, that's what we are doing. Gender equality in STEM education, closing the gender gap, as part of EdTech Monday, the September edition. Today is the 30th of September. We do this on the last Monday of every month. My guests: Daisy Amabafo, Learner Engagement Program Manager at Generation Ghana. Nana Dakwen Siedu is Country Manager for ALX Ghana. And then Miriam Moklu is Associate Monitoring, Evaluation and Learning Officer at the Ghana Society for Education Technology. Now let's keep the conversation going. We've spoken a lot about, making the space more hospitable, more accommodating to girls in STEM and everything. But really, how can we encourage, girls to see STEM careers as viable and exciting? Because the truth of the matter is that you will find a lot of people who will be very scared to go down such a road when they think about all the hard work that has to go into software engineering, all the lines of code you have to write, all the things you need to do, things that at the surface look really complex and very daunting. So for girls, and this can go around the table, how can we make STEM careers look viable and exciting? And how can we tell young girls that you can do this, actually a good path to take, and it will take you somewhere? I don't know if Daisy, you want to start us off.
Yes, we need to make it as practical as possible. We have to. The young girls, I mean both young girls and boys, need to be able to see STEM being applied in their everyday lives. So it could be in the kitchen, it could be in the house, in school, in the car, driving to school, wherever they're going. If they're able to see this practically being implemented, it helps them, think more broadly. And makes it also more relatable. One of the points I would talk about is early exposure. So if you would, I'm sure that for most parents and for most young adults these days, when schools are about to go on vacation, there's like a flood of summer programs that are now all over in the market.
My daughter is 2, and then her school did a coding class for 2-year-olds. what exactly are they learning for 2-year-olds?
Yeah, that is important.
But she still went, in as much as she was there to play. I'm sure there were certain things that she picked up.
So that's the kind of early exposure I was talking about. So they see this right from the start. They know that these are common things. How to be able to code a game on my phone, code a cartoon, all of these things. Once they see that it's actually possible, they're able to play. They see play in STEM, and that is fun, right? There's gamification in the learning of maths, in learning of English, whatever it is. So the early they're exposed to this, the better. Then as they grow up, it's a part of them, and it becomes easy to consider going into these as professions.
Okay, wonderful. Miriam, do you want to add anything?
Yes, so with what she said on exposing them at early ages, so I've taken it upon myself, my little sister, every tech event I attend, I take her along.
I see.
Every workshop I go to. And so she's able to see how exciting other people are coding and then all of that. And she's excited and she's like, oh, how can I get into this? How can I get into it? So I think that exposing them at young ages, it opens their minds to all of these things, and then they are excited. So also we should move more into developing innovative and exciting ways of teaching STEM rather than making it all theory. Let's make it more practical, more easy to understand. So like she mentioned, gamification. There's this STEM platform, I think I can't remember the name now, but then it teaches you how to code as you are also developing games. So Scratch, yes.
Okay.
So as you are doing this, it's so exciting for you, and then you understand that it's not as difficult as it was preached. And yesterday I saw a video on one guy who was using Banku to do an electric circuit or something like that.
Amazing.
Yes. So when they see exciting stuff like this, they become innovative, and then they are more excited about getting into STEM careers and then STEM courses.
Great. Nana, do you want to add something?
Very briefly, we've all spoken about the foundations, right? The foundation is the most important. If we miss it at that point, it becomes more difficult. But if we're able to build it at the foundation level, then it's easier to add on to that. And something both of them touched on that I'd like to highlight is making it practical. But that word is used, but how do you make it practical? For example, every kid loves playing game. Every time they just grab your phone, the next thing you know, without your permission, they've downloaded a bunch of games onto it. You could ask them, what do they think goes behind the game, right? And these are conversations that help them to think of, I'm enjoying this game, but this game was built with all of these things, both men, women at a very young age. And then there are role models of young people who have built games or who have built things in STEM that you could use. So challenging your kid at a very young age, letting them know that whatever someone is doing, you're also able to do it. So back to the point, we don't limit them to the artsy, the utensils, get them to play. But of course, helping them to see that there's a world out there that is very competitive and I need to get in. So at a very young age, I'm trying to say we need to be very competitive and then also build a foundation by using the practical things to teach them.
I just want to ask a question. As you're talking about making or getting young people to like these things, there's a question I always ask tech people, that are people born to be tech people, or you can pick it up?
Definitely, because nobody was born.
I ask because, for example, I'm very naturally predisposed to letters, writing, speaking, blah blah blah. My math is not that great.
Yeah.
Right. So, for a child, for example, if you're a parent and you ID that, okay, your child leans more to reading, letters, writing, and all of that, how then can you take them along so they can take this other side up, this tech side up, without, you get what I mean, without compromising on what they naturally lean towards. But you still want to give them this ability to pick up a new skill. I hope you get my question.
Definitely get your question. I was listening to a podcast a couple of weeks ago about STEM, and the aim of getting people into STEM is not for them to get a career in STEM. Take engineering, for example. People go through engineering but end up in other fields. The aim is that the foundation of engineering helps with problem solving. It helps you to break things apart, to see things. So getting a child in STEM who has an interest in reading, it's not to say you want them to become a software engineer.
Okay.
It's to get them to get that level of mindset of thinking, to be able to think about things, right? If you get them into science, and they're able to solve simple things, like if simple things break in the home, they should be able to fix it themselves, right? So it's not to get them into a career, although there's a lot of career opportunities in STEM. Encouraging them to take an interest in STEM is not them to get into a career, it's the benefits. For example,
to teach them some things like
mathematics,
logical thinking, problem solving,
creative, all these things. But to the initial question that you asked is, everybody can pick up an interest in the STEM course, right? I'm sure as part of your childhood, there's something that drew you to being interested in letter writing. Someone around you.
Yeah, I mean, my parents read and they still read, so that's where it comes. So I read a lot because my parents read.
So as a parent, if you're seeing opportunities in STEM now, you may not have the foundation or even a career in STEM, but what you could also do, seeing the opportunities, you could help your child at a young age, the Legos, the problem solving, these things, and then they would form it, right? Nobody was built with we all form interest based on the circumstances and then the environment.
But I'm happy you are the first person to actually say this, that even though people are not born coders or game developers, and there are certain things you learn by developing the interest, problem solving, logical thinking. So that's that. I'm happy you've mentioned that. Yes.
I'll just a typical example. If you look at an industry like gaming, programming of games, it's one of the very few industries where it's almost like the film and the arts industry. Right, it employs a lot of people from different sectors.
Not only the developers and the coders.
It's not only the developers. So in developing a game, you need writers to write the story. You need perhaps an architect to sort of design the architecture of the game. You need several people from all kinds of areas or industries to be able to put together a very successful game. In the same way, in STEM, I would say the avenues are boundless. If you look at tech alone, you don't need to be a coder to be able to work in tech.
You don't have to write Python code. Hello world.
There are product. I would give an example. There are product managers or product engineers who essentially are the middle people between salespeople and then the developers. The developer is not somebody who is used to talking to people and they want to just geek out in their corners and code products. The salesperson does not understand the tech. They just want to go and sell and make money.
So you need somebody in the middle.
That person in the middle who says, they understand the tech, they also understand a bit of business, they put it together, and then they become like the front-facing side of tech. That is an exciting STEM role or a tech role. So in the same way,
without necessarily being hardcore tech.
Exactly. If you're a writer, if you're a very good writer, you could find numerous opportunities in tech and still be able to play a very significant role in the STEM.
Wonderful response. I think it leads us to the next question. Now, all this talk about closing the gender gap in STEM, how does all of that impact the future of work in Ghana? Because that's why we are doing all of this, to ensure that people have skills that will get them employed. Daisy, that's your question, but of course you guys can add anything.
Now, when we talk about the future of work, I would say it's probably one of the most exciting things about developing STEM. Look at the current state for any recruiters out there who recruit people. one of the biggest benefits of closing the gap would be an impact on the workforce.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to suddenly have a diversified workforce. There's going to be a different flavor of, you know, a new kind of people who are going to be applying to tech roles. You know, if you look at any tech role and how many people are applying for those roles, it's always, a lot of men and maybe 2 or 3 women in there. All of a sudden, we're going to see a very good mix of both female and male applying for these kinds of roles. Another very important thing I would highlight is the diversity we're going to see in innovation. Take medical innovation, for example. There's suddenly going to be women innovators in the health sector who are going to be designing new health products for women. You know, when we talk about health and women, it's such a huge thing. But most of the products are designed by men. Okay, so to be able to close that gap, we're going to have, first of all, the diversity in the talent pool. We're going to also see diversity in innovation.
Okay.
But ultimately, it will just mean a lot more opportunities for women. And that's, I think, it would be such a great thing to see happen.
Diversified workforce, diversified innovation. I like that. These are 2 very strong pillars. Let's proceed. We are almost at the end. So, how can we promote gender equality in STEM education today? And what would that mean in terms of positioning Ghana as a leader in innovation and tech? I don't know. Anybody can answer that. Is open.
So one thing I also want to highlight on is that as much as we are pushing for more girls into STEM, we shouldn't neglect the other part. That is boys. Exactly. Because I was having a conversation with a couple of people, guys, and they are like, all the opportunities are for girls. What about we, the boys?
But they still end up in the pool, like you said. You advertise it for girls, they are applying if they are good, you don't deny them, you know?
So as much as we are pushing for girls to go into STEM, I want to say that we shouldn't neglect the boys as well. It should be a balance. We are pushing for more opportunities for girls, more opportunities for boys as well.
I see.
I have 3 boys, so I'm thinking about that.
Okay, so how do we get to position Ghana as a leader in innovation and technology, even as we promote gender equality in STEM education?
Yes. So putting our female STEM talent at the front line. Putting them there for people to see that, okay, we have women in STEM, we have innovators in STEM as well, so that it won't be like there's an imbalance or anything. Yes, so I think that is one thing that we can do in that direction.
Any more thoughts?
All right. So she mentioned 2 things in the previous question, which is diversity in innovation, diversity in the workforce.
Yeah.
The last one, which I just want to add to that, so I had these as part of my notes, is diversity in decision making.
I see.
Yeah.
When it's male dominated and the decisions are being made about STEM, there's that bias. You don't realize it, right? As a man, you don't realize it subconsciously. But then when there's that balance, you begin to see that the ladies are also weighing in this decision making in the workforce. So it's very important, and you can see some countries are passing the policy when it comes to gender balance in certain public institutions and even private institutions. But to your question, when the opportunities for representation in STEM, whether locally or globally, that gender balance should also be present, right? If there's a competition outside which is focused on STEM, and every time you notice Ghana is taking just male representation, it gives an indication that we're not training. But I know we're doing a lot as a country. There's a report out there that shows that in sub-Saharan Africa, Ghana is well positioned to develop STEM and then capitalize on the market. There's about 6 billion revenue in that STEM space, and Ghana is well positioned to be the leader. So that opportunity when it comes to representation, it should always be a balance. And I'm happy that the last couple of STEM competitions that have been held,
female teams winning.
They are doing it. So we shouldn't stop them that, once they go to the global stage, there's that challenge that they're going to meet guys. No, we should, once they've won here, we should empower them to go into the global stages. And GA last year, when Rwanda, they won in, so of course they had a representative from Ghana, they went to Rwanda, they won. I think global they were second, and they had a lady in there, she was doing the speaking. She was great at it. So we should keep pushing that narrative of having more female do representation when it comes to STEM for the country.
Now let me stay with you. Long-term societal benefits of achieving parity or gender parity in the STEM field? What do we stand to gain at the end of the day when we even things out? We have women and men all in the broad STEM field. What are the benefits?
It goes back to the 3 points that she mentioned, right? So having a workforce that is well balanced, right? And also when it comes to the innovation, if we continue to focus on STEM, Ghana could be the driver of innovation globally. Right now, the latest tech baby is ChatGPT. How would you have wished it was done by a Ghanaian or a Ghanaian kid, right? So we're looking for these opportunities for Ghana, and these things drive revenue. Let me give you an example of Estonia. They don't have a lot of natural resources.
Hey, they are big on tech.
What they're focusing on right now is just tech.
I see.
And their per capita, when you look at what's it called, there's a term for it in terms of unicorns, per capita unicorn. They are number one in the world because such a small country, 1.3 million, but they have 2 unicorns, either 2 or 3, and that's because of their focus on tech. If we do that as a country, and I'm sure the government has its own priorities, but if we focus on this is what we could be leading towards. And imagine all your boat revenue is going to Estonia, all the money they collect. So if we have these innovations coming here and driving revenue here, we don't need to jackpot to go out there. Yeah. The jackpot money will come here.
I see. Any more thoughts, concluding comments as we wrap it up, or you want to add to anything Nana said?
Just a thought on one of the questions around parents supporting their children.
Yes.
One of the I have a little girl as well, and I know she loves to play with the games on the phone. But I think it was at an event I went to where one of the speakers mentioned asking the children questions around what they are enjoying. So I also came back home and I asked her, I threw the challenge to her that you really enjoy playing this game, but do you know that you can actually also create your own? Now, when I started asking her these questions, all of a sudden, she just burst out with such excitement, and she was telling me about all the things she would love to create and how she wants to create them. And it suddenly sparked that interest in the idea of creating her own things. And I think it's a very simple yet an effective way to get the children to start thinking about not only being the consumers of these tech products, but
the
encouraging
makers
them
as well.
to be the makers of these products as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. Miriam, do you want to add anything? Concluding thoughts?
Yes. So I would like to say to a young female change maker out there, or a young boy out there, that the world is a big stage for big performance. So we shouldn't limit ourselves to the blue collar jobs that are there, that we think that, these are, safety places that I can go to. STEM is an innovative way to bring out your ideas, creative, and then all of that. So let us all come together, support the girls, support the boys, and then put our very best, and then we can make Ghana the country you want to see, and then not have to jackpot.
Yeah. Nana, wrap it up for us.
Yeah. I think every now and then there are industries that are booming, right? A couple of years ago it was marketing, the digital marketing space, which still is content creation and all of that.
Yeah.
When we look at the opportunities in STEM, whether learning opportunities or job opportunities. So for a very young age, you might not be thinking of job opportunities 15 years away from then. But then if you can teach them all, making these cool games yourself, making all these things yourself, that's where the interest would come from. But globally, it's estimated that there are 1.2 million unfilled STEM opportunities.
Wow, 1.2 million.
Exactly. Wow. And if we could train all these people and then have Ghanaian youth apply for these jobs, because when it comes to STEM, or let's take technology, opportunities are not tied to boundaries, right? There's no border. You could be here and be applying for a job in Romania, Japan, everywhere. So when we look at these opportunities, for me, if we're able to focus on this, it solves a lot of problems. It solves unemployment, and it also solves innovation and revenue generation for the individuals and also for the country.
Wonderful. That was a great conversation. Let me thank my guest, Daisy Amabafo, Learner Engagement Program Manager at Generation Ghana. Nana Dakwensiedu is country manager for ALX Ghana, and Miriam Oklu, associate monitoring, evaluation and learning officer at the Ghana Society for Education Technology. We've been having a great conversation on gender equality in STEM education, closing the gender gap. So if you're listening to us, I'm sure you've taken away a thing or two, a few nuggets for you to chew on and pursue for yourself, for your child, for your ward, or if you're a teacher, for your student. All of that part of EdTech Monday, the September edition. EdTech Monday is a platform for EdTech entrepreneurs, education stakeholders, and government reps to facilitate critical conversations on the use of technology for teaching and learning. Is an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation's Regional Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning, and is part of the foundation's strategy to find solutions to Africa's youth employment by closing the gap in access to quality education and advancing the integration of technology in education policies and practices across Africa. EdTech Monday airs every last Monday of the month, live on the Citi Breakfast Show like we did today. And you can also catch us live on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM and Mest Africa. My guests, thank you so much. Nana Dakwensiedu, Daisy Amabafo, and Miriam Okulu. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you guys on a Monday morning. And wish you the very, very best. I'm sure we'll meet somewhere soon. Just before I leave, a quick announcement from Mest. Now, if you are an agri-entrepreneur and you are looking to scale, there's a great opportunity for you. Mest is putting out they've put out the applications. The applications are now open, and it's called the Mest Africa Challenge 2024. Now, there's a $50,000 prize. You win that in equity funding. Just visit meltwater.org/MAC to find out more. The application deadline is this Friday, so hurry up, apply, put in your application. You never know, you could walk away as a big winner in the Mest Africa Challenge 2024. If you're an agri-tech entrepreneur, you are looking to scale, this is your opportunity. Visit meltwater.org/MAC. Thank you for listening. It's been another edition of EdTech Monday. The September edition will be back at the end of next month for the October session. Until then, enjoy yourself, keep investing in EdTech, and remember, the space is wide enough for everybody. So find your little corner, do what you can do, excel at it, and enlarge the ever-growing EdTech community in Ghana.
Mighty cool down, don't stop. Time they cool down, don't stop. Plenty enemies don't talk. Silence, money, don't shout. Very soon you go pop champagne and a bad am no. Machiliama, I want him yo. Very soon you go pop champagne and a bad am no. Machiliama, I want him yo.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
I think he released this one on his birthday about a few weeks ago. Talking about birthdays, happy birthday to Duke Nana Kwame. He turns 7 today. Message is coming from his parents and all his loved ones.
Soon you go pop champagne and bad Matiliama, I want you. Heaven, I don't wanna ride here. Heaven, I don't wanna ride now. Heaven, I don't wanna ride here.
Right, 9:59. We are wrapping it up here on this edition of the Citi Breakfast Show. Earlier, Bernardino Kokwavle was here. Godfrey Akotobaf was here. Richard, the last guy, was here as well. Caleb Kuda joined us. Thank you for sending in your messages on 0549986996. We're back tomorrow with a lot more for you on the Citi Breakfast Show. Coming up is the news at 10. How I Juicy Mustafa is here. And then after that, Branch in the City will be on with Na Oyo Korte. How? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kwao. I'm well, thank you. How are you too?
A day inside. Anyway, what's in the news at 10?
Coming up, organized labor to meet tomorrow over planned nationwide demonstration against illegal